Good God, look at that head.
I did.
He said he was going to rock a patch.
You're fucking ugly.
Yeah. You're just going to put the patch right to his forehead.
He looks like he might be your father, so yeah.
Where's the patch? Oh, there you go.
There we go. Bacon pancakes patch.
You know, hanging out with you guys, I'm really glad I don't have a receding hairline.
Yeah. Mine has receded all the way back to the top of my back. It works out.
The prerequisite for having a gun channel, you had to be balding with a beard and just, slightly out of shape, yeah?
Dude, just slightly. Right.
I wish I could grow a fucking beard.
Slightly.
Do you have one of those neards? Do you grow one of them neards? Those neck beards and neards?
So hold on. So I have not shaved since
1984.
No. I have not shaved since. See, today is. So I shaved.
You got a little stubble going on there.
Christmas.
Ooh.
And that's all I have.
2 week shadow.
Again.
2 week shadow.
And it comes here, and it doesn't connect there.
Who comes there?
No, Travis comes right here.
You're growing up now, and your body's going through some changes, and then you're going to find hair in new places you never imagined. And the thing is, deepen, and you're going to start to smell.
The thing is, it's mostly gray, and then of course I have the
not white,
the patch right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I got to say, when Sarge was growing his in, he's got probably the best.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Sarge had probably the best. What do I want to say? Just the best balance of gray to black. He had that black triangle that was like right under his mouth. Yeah, came straight down.
Anybody else want to make a joke? Anyone want to make a joke about that?
It's just like all kind of crazy. I'm sure by next year it won't be nearly as balanced.
Yeah, I hear that. I know mine's all gray here too. So hey, we're live. By the way,
gotta watch
the
icon there in the upper right hand corner.
I'm
really not looking. I'm playing a farming simulator. I don't know why, but
you're pretending to be a farmer. You can't.
Just playing Farmville. Hey, we're a snob.
Still trying to drop off the hay bale or what?
He's trying to.
No.
Foose is actually Foose is actually planting ammunition. He's trying to grow ammo in his backyard.
Freedom seeds.
That's right. So who do we have out there? Local 223 was out there. Early Bass Boy's out there. He was down in the Gun Channels chat too. Pfeiffer's down in the Gun Channels chat. Grim, you're out there in there. Snowy's out there. Gizzard, Glittering Guns. That's Frankie. Porky Pagan's out there. What's up there, Porky Pagan? Portly Porky. That's what they call him, you know. Obnoxious. Gun Snob. Hey, I'm out there. Hey, go figure. Look at that. Travis P11, C4, Carolina EDC. What's up? And Ozzy's out there. Hey, Ozzy. Boob Sweat's out there. Jorge's out there. Seven Wonders is out there. Okay, we got 17 watching so far. So let's say hi to everybody. What we're going to do is we got a couple of things to talk about. One of the things I want to talk about tonight is competition shooting. I've never competition shot anything. I've, other than backyard stuff, I've never really done it. But one of the things that I is a lot of chats, guys talk about competition shooting a lot. Ghost and Mike, Foose is a big competition shooter. A bunch of other guys do it, and they talk about different types of shooting or different types of competitions. But I, for one, don't always know what that means. So we're gonna get into. You're gonna have. I have some written down, but I didn't even bother to write. I didn't go to write definitions down and stuff like that. I was just going to talk about it and see, in layman's terms, what it means. So we will go. I also have a fun channel that I found that we're going to play a quick video from. Gary's going to play it for me then, and I want to show him a little love and see if we can get him over here on Gun Channels. He seems like a pretty fun guy. I think he'd fit in good. So let's go. We'll go right to left. Travis, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? I appreciate the invite. Thank you so much. Cheap plug as usual. Check out my show, Caliber Corner, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. over on gunchannels.com. And make sure you subscribe to everybody on this panel because they all got great content, man. Thanks for the invite.
Awesome.
Cool.
Snob, what's going down? He's sleeping. Fell asleep already.
Apparently his microphone system.
Oh,
crap.
That was the thing Snob's ever said.
I forgot this thing had a mute button on the headset because I'm not using my regular system. And I was just talking away. And
Right.
I'm not muted. Thanks for having me. Glad I got to be here 2 weekends in a row. So I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarge, what's going down?
Nothing. I did my part to help promote your show.
I seen
put out
it. Thank you.
Little Instagram stories, and I guess they shared it to Facebook. So doing my part.
And look, you did your part, and we have less people watching than we normally do. So thanks. That was awesome of you. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's dropping by the second.
It is. Do me a favor. Don't ever try and help again, okay?
Okay.
Patriot, what's going on?
Just working hard. And I figured I'd catch the last closer of 2018.
It is.
Thank you for the invite. I'm honored.
Wait. This can't be the last closer. He never closes.
I'm just going to let it run.
This closer could run, you could do another one and run it in, be the last and the first of 2018, 2019.
I'll still be at work. I'll probably still be at work. So, yeah, we'll be in.
I'll open one. I'll run one.
There you go. Go ahead.
Hell, I heard you had to run one last night's the rumor I heard.
Nope, I was just helping out.
Oh, yeah, If I was home, I'd run. Well, G will be open. G will have the gun show, the daily gun show tomorrow night. I guess, unless he's out partying hard or something. Him and Marshmallow out causing trouble, maybe. I don't know.
That's true.
Obnoxious, what's going down?
Hello. I just wanted to say thank you for having me live in studio tonight.
Fancy.
Wow.
It's
Rich guy.
It's nice being here. This is I didn't realize you had such a classy establishment. So
it's a nice place, isn't it?
It is. It is.
That's a masterpiece bathroom.
I may have to come here more often. And
I'm just glad he got his camera.
I bet.
It's not that kind of bathroom.
Hey, you need to clean down there on the bottom. There's a little stain on the bottom of it.
That's Obnoxious's face. That's not his face.
Oh.
What's really cool too is when I play
that you got the paper is
no, that's nice stuff too. That's expensive stuff. I don't cheap out. And what's really cool,
I see you're really supporting Trump though.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's really nice too is when I play like board games and stuff, I have a little golden toilet that's my piece too. So yeah, it's nice. And play like Monopoly and stuff. It's a little toilet.
Just carry this golden toilet from game to game.
Yeah.
Like Clue, Monopoly, whatever.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He even plays Dungeons and Dragons and's got a little golden toilet. That's his actual.
I bet.
That's like last time I played Clue, I won. I beat Obnoxious to death with the golden toilet in the bathroom. And I won.
I couldn't defend myself with the silver plunger.
This is a silver plunger, the platinum plunger. That would be a great superhero name for you. Oh, call the platinum plunger.
I have a feeling that we're going to have a platinum plunger.
That's what I was gonna say. There'll be a platinum plunger in the chat soon.
Pretty soon.
Just as long as he subs me, I'm happy with him.
Boob Sweat says Game of Golden Thrones. There you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
The platinum plunger strikes again. You and C4 Defense will be the golden plunger and the mad crapper.
His golden shower.
Mad crapper.
How did I get drug into this?
I don't know.
It's not the mad crapper, it's the gold crapper.
Jon Snow, winter's coming. Yeah, so's my turd.
Oh man, Grim, what's going on? You still at school? They still have school these days, or what?
Oh man, school. Well, that's the only reason me and Travis are here.
I know,
That's
right?
pretty much it. It's not a school night, so yeah, that's that is for sure. Yes.
Yeah, not too much. No, I've been working at the range the last few days. And even
that's
last
right.
week.
I forgot you did that.
Golden Toilet might be a good nickname for Yankee.
Well, no, he'd be the plunger.
I thought he was the turd in the golden toilet.
Yeah.
Gotta go drop the Yankee off at the pool.
Budget snuck in there. What's going on,
he's
Budget?
back.
Yeah, I'm just working on day 2 of stripping this damn floor. Wax does not want to come up.
Is that code for something? I don't know.
No, it's actually what it sounds like, stripping the frickin' floor.
That
I heard
sucks.
Sarge was being a stripper tonight too, so
Oh, I thought you were trying to clean the golden toilet there with the, platinum plunger.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'll leave that to you guys.
Gizzard, what's going down?
Wow.
I don't know. I just after all the shit that's coming before me, it's hard for me to talk or even try to keep up with it.
it's
Yeah,
golden
I know,
shit.
right?
Literally.
Literally, I tell you what, man. You all are out of my league, or I'm out of
Lots of
yours, or
shit.
something like that. Man, I'm just enjoying myself. Been looking forward to the closer all day. Thank God it's time for this thing.
Very, very cool.
Let's do this. Thanks for the
We need to get Obnoxious. You need to get a little elf on the shelf on that toilet. Let him hang out there for the show.
That's probably a little bit above my Photoshop experience.
Is that above your pay grade?
My pay grade.
But damn it,
All I gotta say is if you need to use that thing while we're in the show, let us know. We'll send somebody in to get your clothes after you're done.
I'm like Stanley. I take my shirt off.
all he's got's a shirt on, so
A Porky Piggin.
That's true. There won't be much to pick up.
Hashtag Porky Piggin.
Daniel Tosh had a joke about sitting on the toilet backwards so that he could eat his cereal in the morning, just eat it off the back. And he's like, and he said he had somebody send him an email or a comment or something, and they said he's like my fans are so weird. He says, yeah, I had a guy send me a comment. He said, if you sit on the toilet backwards, you have to take your pants the whole way off. And he's like, okay, all right. He's like, all right, it's a pre-shower shit. What do you think about that? What does that make you happy then? Foos, what's going on?
Fuck if I know.
Making bulletses.
I did load the last 1,000 primers I had. I'm going to make another order, probably 20,000. Yeah, and just start cranking them out again. Sport shooters ammunition. Buy shit.
Yeah, throw a sports shooter aim. Is it that's at Gmail?
Yeah, at Gmail. I'll put it in the Google.
It's 2 S's. Sports shooters, right?
Sports shooters.
Okay. Yeah, throw it in the side chat. I'll just copy and paste it.
I just put it in.
There
YouTube.
We go. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So 125 grain, 9mm. As soon as Travis gets off his butt, P11 that is, and sends me money, I'll send his order out.
There you go. So here's the thing. Okay, so now that you're making ammo to sell for profit, does it make you feel a little bit bad to shoot it?
No.
Instead of selling it? No?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Because I still, like, it's an LLC, so I still buy it. It's just at a reduced cost because, number one, I have dealer prices. Number two, all my ammo is being bought by the company. So all the ammo I shoot is a loss for the company. which means it is a loss for me because it's an LLC. So let's say I shoot $10,000 worth of ammo, which I would love to be able to shoot that much in a year. That means that my tax contributions would be, down $10,000. So that means if I'm in a 30% tax break, I would get hopefully $3,000 back. So it's that. So LLCs.
Who do we have? 1, 2, 3.
And the ammo is made for sport shooters and target and not home defense. So
unless you like home defense with FMJs, right?
Well, it's not even FMJ. It's a polymer coated lead round, but it'll probably act like an FMJ. But yeah, it's not. No, no.
I got a question, Clover. If you want to jump in, would one of you guys care to jump out so I can get Clover in here? Because I wanted to.
I can jump out.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter, Clover. Only if Clover really wants. If Clover wants to come in, if he can't come in, then don't worry about it. But if he wants to come in the panel, if one of you guys could hop out, because he has
several of us that'll jump out.
I'm sure you're sick of it already. Yeah.
I'll hop out because I'm working anyway, so my attention's divided. So I'll just go ahead and hop out so Clover can hop in.
All right, thanks, man.
Hey, thanks for the invite anyway. I appreciate it.
No, it's cool. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're probably paying more attention than the rest of us.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, if budget's leaving, I guess I'll stay, even though you moved me to another studio.
Oh, there you go.
See that's definitely old school technology. That's from like when Yankee was just a kid. That was new technology then.
The chair they tortured James Bond on in Casino
What are you
Royale.
doing? What are you doing at Gizzard's house?
He moved me to another studio.
Well, they said, you
didn't know
you talk about
had more than one studio, did you?
Oh yeah, I'm big time. Well, Travis, you said about that James Bond and torturing. If you're going to torture the shit out of somebody, that's got to be where you'd want to do it, right there, I guess.
That's pretty much it. That'll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Clover, there is a spot if you'd like to jump in. So, all right. So Gizzard, I'm going to have you screen share, and then I'll lock on you here. I want to play this video here, and Clover's a big proponent of it. He loves those guys love to do like the gun channels, gun channels blitz and stuff like this. But so I was in Yankees. It was last week, I think it was, or a week and a half ago. I was watching one of Yankees chats, sort of just not even really watching. I was listening to it and doing some stuff. And I kind of looked down at the chat, and I saw a username that was the Unprofessional Chef. And I was like, oh shit, let me click on this guy's channel. So I clicked on this guy's channel, and I swear, at first of all, I mean, I thought it was a gun snob under a different account at first, but I don't think it is, because this guy sounds like a little bit like you. But he's got some really funny videos. They're really, really short. And I saw him again I don't know. I've never seen him in any other chats other than Yankees, but he was in Yankees chat again this past week, and I said hi to him. And so I was like, hey, I think your channel's really funny. And I was going to promote it on the show. So I just wanted to show like one little video. And then if you guys, go sub to him, give him a little love. Let's try and maybe get him over on gun channels. He seems like a pretty fun guy. So I'm going to.
You're going to remain
let
quiet.
Gary play that. Go ahead, Gary.
Okay, let me make sure I'm not muted. All right.
A lot of my viewers like to ask me what the trick is to making chicken taste really good. Well, you got to make a marinade, and it's pretty easy to do. I'm going to tell you how. First, you get something out of that bottle, and you put it in your red Solo cup, mix it up with whatever you're drinking. Then you go in your cabinet. You open every single one of these little bottles that looks like that you got in there. It don't matter what it is. You just open it. You put it in there. You put some olive oil on top of it, mix it up, let it get heavy. Then You're going to get this pan hotter than all shit to where you can't touch it. You're going to put that chicken in there, let it sear a little bit. You're going to put it in the oven, let it cook till it's done. Should taste pretty good. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But by the time this cup's gone, I probably ain't going to care how it tastes.
Is this Ellis?
Comment down below, tell your friends about the videos. Or don't. See if I give a damn.
That does kind of sound like.
Yeah, I thought that was Outlaw there.
Yeah, so it seemed like a pretty fun. I mean, his videos are all like that. They're real short, and he drinks in them. And he talks about it. It's pretty funny. So, it's The Unprofessional Chef on YouTube.
Post his link out there
to the channel, or
so we can go sub him.
Yeah,
right. Hold on,
because I'm lazy and don't want to search.
That's cool. Yeah, I can do it too. I had it on my phone here.
I'm on it.
Put in the internal too, so we don't have to search.
Oh, for God's sake.
Dude, we're lazy.
Could you email that to me, Gary?
Nobody wants to work today.
Hey, can you come over here and sub it on my computer? I don't feel like
hitting
the button.
I got something you can sub.
This dude only has 9 subscribers.
Can you tweet that out for me?
We're fixing to double his subs.
There you go.
He has 11 now. 12.
Come on, everybody, sub him.
He's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Who are all these people? Jeez.
Who are all these nuts? Full
Those
of crap.
Russian hackers.
So,
whoops, wrong button.
Yeah,
he's having a good time with that headset.
Yeah, right. All right. I'll be right back. I got to go take care of something real quick. Kiz,
he's going to eat the golden throne.
No, I got to go check
mute.
on something here. Yeah, I am. I got to go check on something real quick. No, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
He trusts us alone in his chat.
Oh, wow.
All right, guys.
Now that he's gone, how can we get him booted off YouTube?
Well, apparently, if you throw his link out there in the live chat, so that people come in and show gay porn on his channel. That's what I learned last night.
Oh my god!
Anybody else want a screen share?
Not really. No.
All
I would have to do is just show my computer screen and then it get him booted in.
Jeez.
We don't want to see you.
Yeah, please keep it on.
Oh man.
Hey Foos, I'll probably be putting an order in on I'm thinking Thursday for the ammo.
All right. Sounds
You
good.
going to buy mine too?
Next week, just as a FY, next. Oh shit! No, not that button. The 9th week, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, I am going to be traveling for work. So if you're going to do it on the 3rd, I could go ahead and get it going for you.
Yeah. What was the cost going to be? You said it was around 10 for 50.
9.
Okay. Cool. No, that's nice, man. Heck yeah. It's cheaper than Walmart. I mean.
Oh, speaking of Foos, I have a complaint to voice with you, Foos.
Oh no.
Okay.
Freaking FedEx. Yesterday, I had something scheduled for Saturday delivery. What do you know? It says it's delivered at 2 p.m. Nowhere to be found. They're like, "Oh, we handed it to resident." Like, you lying pieces of shit.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. We were home all day, but it didn't show up. So luckily this morning I have an honest neighbor who calls me this morning and says, "Hey, we found a package on our porch that was yours." I'm like, "Oh, but they handed it to the resident and they found it on their porch."
I've noticed a lot of that stuff now that's coming from Amazon is getting marked handed off directly.
That's where this came from.
So, multiple things. The systems I work for are for freight, not for ground or express. And all of the ground deliveries, those are actually contractors, not FedEx employees.
Okay, well, this was just regular FedEx Express.
And,
I'm still just
And the
confused.
contracted ones don't care a bit.
I don't think any of them care.
No,
No,
I
yeah,
agree. I don't think any care.
It depends.
They put our package on the side of the house. There's no door on the side of the house. And luckily, I was walking to the back shed, and I'm like, why the hell is this box here? And I was going to kick the damn box, but I'm like, oh, let me grab it. And it was the package she had been waiting for from the day before that they said was hand-delivered.
It's a good thing your sprinklers didn't come on. Yeah.
No, it didn't start raining
It
yet.
was hand-delivered.
Yeah, they literally put delivered to residence.
Oh, okay. Such a fine line between clever and stupidity. So, all right.
Well, I mean, they did. They went through they opened the gate and they walked about 5 feet and put it down.
Yeah, they took their hand and threw it from the truck all the way onto your porch, or tried to.
Oh, that's why
I've been at my buddy's gun shop, and them mark on in the middle of the day, 2 PM, marked unable to deliver, business closed. It doesn't close till 6. It's standing right there in the gun shop, and they say can't deliver, business closed. Whatever.
Yeah. You interrupted his lunch. That's why.
Apparently.
Yoder ordered from Ellis instead. Bastard.
Oh, Ellis won't deliver here.
Boob Sweat's asking how you can order. You just email you direct, right? Oh,
Yeah,
you said it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, or you can look up on Gun Channels SSA.
Okay.
That's my company, and it will have. Oh, let's see. And you will see my company logo, which I'm bringing up now. You will see this logo. So, yeah.
Cool.
You'll see that in Gun Channels. You can look it up on Facebook and get me through there, Sports Shooters Ammunition. So, yeah, I don't have a website because, like, right now I just have the one machine. I don't have a huge stock, so I don't want to have a website out there and someone will be like, oh, I want, 30,000 rounds, and I don't have the capital to do that. So 500,000 round lots are fine. I have.
Did he say 500,000 round lot's fine?
Wow.
That's exactly what he said.
I said 500,000 round. I mean, if you want to pay for 500,000 rounds, absolutely. Payment up front so I can get everything, and then I will ship it out to you.
Do I get free delivery if I order 500,000?
No. Well, it depends. I may drive it there. Maybe cheaper.
I'm only 3 yards.
Load the back of my truck up and let's go.
And then he's going to deliver it to the neighbor.
Yeah, probably. Damn FedEx.
Hand delivered, of course.
Handed off directly.
Yep.
Hand delivered.
One round at a time.
Remember the movie Animal Farm with Chevy Chase? Remember the mailman that used to just drive by and cackle and throw the mail out? That's how Foose delivers his ammo.
That was Funny Farm, wasn't it? Funny Farm?
Funny Farm, yeah, Funny Farm.
Yeah,
Funny Farm.
Animal House, Funny Farm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just Sports Shooters Ammunition, Facebook, Sport SSA on Gun Channels. So I'm set up for Square, and we can do. I really don't want to do PayPal just because PayPal sucks ass. But I am set up for Square, so we could do that if you want, or if you just if you really don't want to do PayPal, we can do that as well. I just gotta make sure everything clears. So
very cool. Armament wants us to cook him something. I ain't cooking nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, right now I have probably about 4,000 rounds, 4,000 or 5,000 rounds that I could sell right now. So I'm gonna be
Who wants it?
some.
Who wants it out there? I'm giving discounts. If you put Midnight,
Midnight's paying.
Midnight? No. You use the code Midnight. He'll give you 50% off right now.
Oh, the code Midnight 50.
Oh yeah, Midnight 50. Sorry.
So yeah.
Affiliate link.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do a 50% discount if Midnight Range will go ahead and supply that other 50%.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. I'll get right on that.
I thought you had to give Midnight Range 10% of that though for his advertising fees.
So now it's 50%, 50%, and 10%, and there's another 5%, and then you got shipping, and then it's confusing.
Oh, now we're not
absolutely.
Patreon here.
I should probably just stay out of it. I'm not. That's above my pay grade. I'll let you handle that. So, Clover, what's up? So you popped in here. Got a little space for you.
Yep. Clover.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
What? Clover's being quiet. You got quiet chat today. 50 cents. Oh, there you go. 50 cents off. That's probably more like it. There you go. If you buy all the rounds he's got, he'll give you 50 cents off. That's a better deal for you, Foos.
Clover's making that recipe.
What recipe is that?
Solo cup.
Oh yeah, the chicken. Yeah.
I do have a turkey on the smoker though.
Ooh, can't go wrong with that. Smoked turkey's awesome. Do you brine it and stuff, or do you just do like a rub?
Yeah, I've got a rub, and then put apples inside of it on the final.
Oh, that's cool. Good idea. Yeah. Sounds awesome. How long do you smoke that for?
14. This particular one may go 18.
Damn, that's cool.
That's a big turkey.
Yeah. And do you do what do you keep your temp at when you do that? I don't have a smoker. I've never had like a real smoker, so I always half-ass stuff.
180 for the first 2 hours. Pretty much anything I do. I like to start pretty close to room temp, and then start at you don't want anything obviously frozen at all, and the colder it is, the less apt it is to take smoke. So you want it, you don't want it, whatever, rotting flesh, room temperature for days type thing. But slightly cool to the touch is okay. Definitely not straight out of the refrigerator. And then go 180 for about 2 hours. It just kind of depends on the size of what you're doing. I went 4 on this turkey. And I had to watch it to make sure that, nothing, didn't dry out or anything crazy happened. But, and of course it didn't. Plenty enough moisture in there and stuff around here. But then, then low and slow, man, 225. The final 4 probably to 6 hours. I'll probably add some chicken stock or some chicken bouillon. In a pan, throw it over in that, kind of seal it up a little bit, and usually finish it off that way. It brings the moisture back when you do that. That's what really makes stuff start to pull away from the bone. The last time I did a turkey, it was pretty awesome. You could literally pull the bones out like I did my ribs.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. There wasn't any carving in the turkey. That wasn't happening.
Just pull it. Yeah. And when you do it, do you put you don't use any kind of, do you use like a catch tray underneath with like anything in it to kind of catch any of the fats and juices that come out of it? Or you just do it on like a rack?
Not usually. I mean, it's on a rack, and that's kind of a pain to try to catch everything and then move it around to reuse it when the smoker's hot. It's hard to facilitate that. So
I was just wondering. I didn't know.
I went to introducing just I'll use beef, pork, or chicken bouillon a lot of times to reintroduce the moisture factor back to it.
Do you use an electric smoker, or do you use like a Traeger, or what do you do?
Yeah, I've got a Green Mountain grill, a pellet smoker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty high tech.
So, Armin Access says that you're locked on me.
I was, yeah. I'm kind of brain damaged. When I lock on somebody, I generally don't unlock off of them for like 10 minutes afterwards.
No worries.
Obnoxious one drinks out of the catch tray.
Ooh, man.
Two Live Moo, what's going on, buddy?
Oof. Wait, I thought he was the catch tray.
Oh, damn.
Straight in.
Oh, that's some truck stop. That's some truck stop talk right there. Yeah. McDonald's is open. You can go check out. Yeah, you go get yourself a little McChicken sandwich or something. Don't forget the diamond walnuts. What the hell's that all about? Strip lower. Hashtag strip lower. It's even got the springs in it. It's good to go. All right. So
does that have the pins in it? Does that have the pins?
No, just the springs. They're duct taped in.
But does it come with the stock?
Yeah, chicken stock.
It's very white trashtical.
Comes with a little bowl of soup. You're good to go. So, what I wanted to do is talk about, because I'm really interested in competition shooting, but I've never done it. So a lot of time I really like to listen to the chats where you guys are talking about it, but a lot of times you'll use some of the acronyms and stuff like that, and I don't really know what they are unless I look them up. So I wanted to talk about that a little.
Okay.
And there's some of the ones that you hear about a lot are like 3-gun, and I know what 3-gun is, bullseye shooting. And I know, Clover, you did Steel Target or Steel Challenge. You talked about that a lot because I know you did that this year. And then they talk about IPSC, and then there's trap and skeet and then bench rest and all sorts of stuff. Cowboy action. I know some of the guys on gun channels do cowboy action stuff, all the way down to like airsoft and what they call confrontational challenge stuff, which is like paintball and airsoft and stuff like that.
And there's IDPA.
Right. That was one of the, IDPA was one of the other ones that's like super common that I wanted to talk about. I wanted you to talk about.
Even archery tag, when you're talking about like force on force.
Or they just use like Nerf type tips or something?
You wear like a chest plate type thing, and then you wear a sort of like I don't want to say a football helmet, but maybe what's like the lacrosse style helmets maybe, or something, almost. And then all the bows are standard issue, so I mean you don't go out. It's not like paintball where you go out and buy your own, high powered something. It's all standard, whatever bows and things, but they're always fairly low, on them. And then the arrows have like a big foam marshmallow on the end, and there's obstacles and all of that, and it's usually like a capture the flag type scenario. And you've got like these artillery battery type things that you have to put arrows through in order to get through certain gates. I mean, it's a fairly intricate game.
Sounds cool, man.
Yeah, there's several aspects to it. It's to be able to even get to the point to where you can take them down and capture the flag. And if you get hit, I mean, you basically got to shoot somebody in the chest plate. I mean, if it's an intentional hit to the head or below the waist, then that is a penalty. So you kind of got an element of hockey in there, I guess, a little bit. And then if you get hit, you're timed out, and you eventually get to respawn. So kind of like a video game in a way. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you get a certain number of arrows? Are you limited?
Well, all the arrows are uniform. So you start out. I want to say you start out. The times I played, you started out with 3. But I mean, as people shoot and whatever, you basically pick them up, right? So I mean, you could end up with 20 arrows or something. But I mean, obviously, you want to share with teammates if they're out or whatever.
Right.
Hey, I'm out. And he's behind the barricade. You got to pitch him some arrows.
Well, hell, you can just shoot him right over to him.
Well, you could, but I mean, if you accidentally hit him in the chest plate, he's out.
Yeah, that's me. I've never really thought about that being a thing. Is that common at all? I mean, or is that something that you really, really have to like seek out and maybe travel to play?
It's fairly new. There's I want to say there's 4 or 5 places in Texas where you can play. And I did find out at SHOT Show they've got on Wednesday, they've got the what do they call it? The pop-up review, which is on the 5th floor. It's just one day, and it's like a bunch of new companies and stuff like that. And Archery Tag is one of them that is on the list. So it's going to be real interesting to get by there and actually talk to the main people about it.
Very cool. I never even that's neat. I've never even heard about that. I would think that would be
freaking crazy.
Yeah, and I would think like for me, I see it. I would think that would be way more fun than paintball or something like that, or airsoft. Like I feel like I would like that better than airsoft or something because there's more skill involved.
No, well, it depends.
You've got like gates and drawbridges and stuff, right? So in order to get, like I said, to get to basically the opposing team's flag, you have to like shoot through these small holes in these things, right? And they knock a little flap down, and then of course that indicates that the gate's open. You can go further, right? So you've got people that are guarding that, of course. And you can't get super close to those most of the time, or because it's kind of out in the open. You know what I mean? To be able to get anywhere close to it, so it's a challenging shot to be able to bring down the gate or anything like that. So in all that time, you're trying to. It's not just a lot of the paintball and a lot of the things like that. A lot of that is it's either straight up capture the flag or like last man standing. There's not other objectives that have to be met.
They took, they sort of took, what was the show with the, oh man, back in the day, they redid it. They brought it back out. Shit.
The Fall Guy?
No, yeah, the Fall Guy. Yeah, that's it. No, don't worry about it. It'll pop into my head. No, that's cool, man. That's really
something like a buddy of mine starting to do airsoft, and there's multiple. There's like high cap and low cap, where basically the size of an AR-15 mag, you could have like 600-700 rounds in it. But then there's some games where if you have an AR, you're limited to 30 rounds. If you have, a pistol with a 1911, you're limited to 8 rounds in there. You're limited to the size of whatever ammo capacity that real firearm is, and you can only load out whenever he goes, he'll have 6 on his chest and 1 in the gun. So that's all the ammo he has for X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do stuff like that too. So it is more skill. So you're not sitting there just putting 8-9 1,000 rounds down range. So
can you imagine having to clean up after a big airsoft battle like that?
So I talked to him about that. He said that once they're out in the sunlight, the membrane decomposes, and it just basically within 3 or 4 days, the rounds are gone.
So you're talking biodegradable version, not the plastic crap.
Yes, biodegradable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Same thing with the paintballs. That's all biodegradable shit now too.
Yeah.
It's almost like
water soluble
or something. Yeah.
Be like if you go to Trap Skeet Field, and there's piles and piles and piles of broken clay, and they get out there with like a bobcat and push them all off in a hole and stuff. Because it just builds up. That would be crazy on like an airsoft range if it was like that.
Well, I mean, even the skeet is biodegradable now, isn't it?
Well, but a lot of the clubs don't buy the biodegradable, and it doesn't biodegrade very fast.
Well, yeah.
It's not like you're talking about with a paintball over a few days. You can go, I've seen stuff be on the ground for literally months and months and months.
But you know, I mean, also with skeet, you got all that lead sitting there. So don't most skeet places every few years take off the topsoil, or
It depends on where they're at in the regulations.
Okay.
I actually buy reclaim shot from Red Oak Hill or something like that gun club out of California, and they'll sell their reclaim. They'll do that what you're talking about, and they'll reclaim the shot and sell it occasionally. And that's a requirement out there for doing that. Here in Texas, I don't know of a requirement for any ranges to do anything. And I've been to some like pistol ranges before, and I only know this because I've taken 2 gallon, 3 gallon buckets, whatever it was, and a little garden spade, and intentionally to get out on the berms and get the lead, because there would be 4 inches of lead on the berm just sitting back there. They've never done it in years and years.
Yeah, there's a lot of range. Well, not a lot of ranges, but several ranges around here that are the same way, and people that cast just go nuts over it. I mean, there's like 3. I mean, literally, when he says 3 inches, that's not a lie.
That's that's not dirt mixing. I mean, you've got no dirt. I mean, you're not talking about you're digging in the dirt and you have to sift it. I'm talking about solid. You get a scoop, it's all lead. You don't got to even worry about it. I mean, yeah, you're going to want to wash it and let it dry and get what you can out of it before you start, smelting down. But yeah, I mean, for the most part. And then underneath that, there's no telling how much lead. You know what I'm saying?
But that's actually in the berm, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's one. There's a Missouri Department of Agriculture or whatever, about 45 minutes north of me. And back whenever I was casting, I went out there and I filled up a 5-gallon bucket. I mean, I
toted.
Oh no, not it. So I was toting it out in 1-gallon buckets.
Put it in a 5-gallon. I got you.
And I put it in a 5-gallon. Yeah, and then
because a 3 is all I can tote, and the handle will almost want to break.
Yeah. I mean, that 5-gallon bucket, you're probably looking at 140, 150 pounds, if not more.
Probably with range lead. I know with wheel weights, of course, you're talking different compositions, and you're talking about a lot of space, right?
Right.
Wheel weights, they're not going to stack like busted projectiles or whatever will. But with wheel weights, you can get usually about 75 pounds or so in the 5-gallon bucket of wheel weight.
Yeah. And of course, you melt that down, and it's not near 75 pounds.
Time you get like I said, you get the clips out and weed out the ones that are zinc and all that good stuff. Yeah.
You're down. We're probably looking at about 50 pounds.
A lot of times even less than that. I mean, 30, maybe even 30. It kind of depends. Kind of depends on, how many tires they've changed, what kind of weights were on them. It always depends. How many lug nuts and wheel studs are in there with them? That's a big thing too. Valve stems and everything else taking up space.
So that's something that people take and cast that into shot. People cast that into whatever 45, 49, 357, anything like that, and they'll shoot that and make it cheaper.
Yeah,
to make cowboy action, everything.
Surprised. I mean, now when I'm doing 500 grain 458 SOCOM, you don't get a whole lot of that out of a pound.
But it's still a lot cheaper than go out and buying that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, without a doubt. But when you're talking about something like 9mm or 357 or 38 special or whatever conventional, you're talking 100 to 150 grain or so projectiles. You can get a bunch out of a pound.
So my 125 grain loading, you're looking at 56 projectiles out of a pound.
Yeah, but that's a lot out of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A pound is not that much lead.
Yeah. But anyway,
7,000 grains in a pound divided by whatever your roughly.
Yeah. So getting back to the sports shooting, he was talking about clays and a little bit of arrow, and there's also probably one of the best to get into, at least pistol wise, is Steel Challenge, because there's no movement. You can do it with 22 pointing at the ground in it's usually a tire or a starting position that is that is out there, and then it's 5 targets and with a stop plate. So you have to hit the stop plate has to be the last one, and there's 8 dedicated courses of fire, and you shoot each one 5 times. They take your fastest 4 runs, and I mean that's probably the best way to get into pistol shooting.
Some only do. Some I've shot. They only have 4. Well, and they'll tell you beforehand what they are, and you don't get to drop. Yes. You get to drop your 5th string on each stage, but you don't get to drop a stage.
Right. Yeah. So it all depends on the size of the bay, and whenever I say 8, there's only 8 strings of fire in Steel Challenge.
Yeah, but they do retire them and then do new ones every now and then.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I shot a match here a few weeks back, I guess it was. That was what they call it, a retro match or something, and it was 4 stages that they have retired.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but you had no clue going in. Nobody did really. Some of the older dudes may have, but most of us had no clue how it was even going to be set up.
Yeah. So Steel Challenge, if you want to get to know more about that, it is associated with USPSA, United States Practical USP Shooting Association. It's USPSA.org. It is Steel Challenge is in with them, as well as USPSA. USPSA, and there's another one, which IPSC. IPSC is the international arm. USPSA is an offshoot of that. Basically, it's wide open run and gun. That's where you can run anywhere from 6-shot revolver, 8-shot revolver, 1911, all your standard, production guns, your 2011s, 20 rounds of 40. You could run PCCs with 50 and 60 rounds in them. PCC AR style, pistol caliber carbine. And that's really where your space guns come in, your $8,000 9mm major guns are, with a red dot sitting on top. That is, whenever you think of sports shooting, especially pistols, that's usually what pops in your head, because that's the ones where you're sitting there looking at anywhere from muzzle to probably 50-yard targets, and it's how many points per second you could get. So,
and also referred to as IPSC, by the way.
Yeah, IPSC. Yeah, that's the international arm. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's the old. It said it's the oldest. It's the oldest type of competition.
Yeah. So actually no. IDPA started first. IDPA was started by Bill Wilson of Wilson Combat here in Berryville, which is like 30 minutes away from where I live. And it is made for defensive type shooting. Like home scenarios, usually, less than 2 magazines per stage. They tell you what the scenario is. There is a certain type of shooting sequence. Like if you have, let's say there's 3 targets at the same distance, you have to put 1 round on each before you can come back with another round. Whereas in USPSA or IPSC, you could shoot them however you want.
When you're talking about,
that's not necessarily true.
When you're talking about what's the oldest, it's all relevant to what you're comparing. Let's keep.
Oh, that yeah, absolutely true.
I mean, there's shooting competitions that are hundreds of years old.
So what have you guys? I mean, I don't know about everybody in the chat. Maybe there's people other than you guys. that have done organized competitions. What have you guys shot personally? What types? Clover?
You got a minute?
Or 90?
Clover for you, we got 5. Yeah.
All right. For shotgun, 5 stands, sporting clays, trap, and skeet and whiz bang. For archery, 3D clout, indoor, outdoor, and there's varying versions, of course, of all of that. I guess we can get into that later if anybody wants to get into specifics on stuff, of course. For pistol, 50-foot bullseye, 50-yard bullseye, and steel challenge. For rifle, silhouette, small bore silhouette. I guess rifle, all small bore for me for rifle. Small bore silhouette, small bore 3 position, and small bore 4 position precision in varying distance. I think that's it, maybe.
What about pistols? Like, have you done any USPSA or anything like that?
You might know. Steel challenge was my first foray, really outside of precision stuff.
Okay. Which, steel challenge, you start, looking, some of those are, about 25, 30 yard, 6-inch plate, something like that. So that could be some precision in there.
It can be. I haven't shot. I mean, don't get me wrong, because I'm not used to the fast movement and all that stuff. I still want to kind of go slow. I've still got that precision mind. I've never been really good at shotgunning, and that's part of why. I've just got that precision mind, and I'm pretty good at precision. But the other stuff, I just can't. I don't know. I can't break thinking about it too much.
Gotcha.
But anyway, with the ones I've shot, yeah, I think maybe 25 yards is the furthest, and even at that, I think it's like 8 inch or something is the smallest. I was kind of surprised when I first got into it. I didn't know quite what to expect, and it was a lot closer with a lot bigger targets than what because I like a 6-inch plate, and I shoot a lot of those here at the house. So I was used to shooting, setting up, and burying arrays or whatever, 6-inch plates, just playing around. And, I get into the match, and some of these are like 18 by 24.
Yeah. Yep.
At 12 yards or something, and you're like, holy crap, how easy is this? But when you're moving, when you move from that to, like you say, or I mentioned, when you have to go from a 24 by 18, and you've got to do this fast, and you've got to transition from, let's say a 40-degree transition or something between a 18 by 24 plate at 12 yards to an 8-inch.
Yeah.
So,
have any of you guys? I got a quick question since you guys are on this. Have any of you tried the 3-star shoots? I'm pretty good at those. Don't
know what those are.
They're about a 1-inch star, and you stand and you give the guy the $5, and you shoot the little air rifle and
the machine gun air rifle.
Yeah, at the carnival. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
We didn't even talk about that kind of shit, but yeah.
So getting back to Steel Challenge, we're talking about 5 shots, and some of the world champions, they're doing 5 aim shots with a 22, or sometimes even with full powered handgun in like 1.3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's Look up Steel Challenge Max Michelle or JJ Ricazza. Your mind will be blown.
And you've dang near got 100 on any course. You've dang near got 180 degree. You know what I'm saying? Coverage.
Yeah.
It's not like they're close together. It's not like a plate rack.
Right. And these guys that shoot the Steel Challenge and are like, we'll do it in like 1.2, 1.3 seconds, stuff like that. Everything from the beep on is muscle memory.
Exactly.
Because you have 8 stages. There are some people that if all they shoot is Steel Challenge, they will have those 8 stages set up, and they'll sit there and shoot 1,000 rounds on like 3 of them or 2 of them, or maybe 1,000 rounds a day on 1 of them, and just sit there, and it's all muscle memory. So from the very first start, a lot of them, they see the first round, the first target, and then everything else is muscle memory back and forth.
And when you're dealing with when you get into the shotgunning realm, when you're dealing with trap and skeet, it's pretty much the same way. Because they come out the same every single time.
Right. Whereas in USPSA and IPSC, each stage is totally different.
So, of them, what would you say the most common type of competition? Like, let's say, I mean, trap and skeet. I think everybody knows pretty much what trap and skeet. Like, we're talking about like handgun. If we're talking about handgun type competitions, what do you guys? Would you say the top 3 common ones are?
I would say IDPA and IPSC/USPSA. I know IPSC/ the USPSA, the United States branch of it, has over 100,000 members. I don't know IDPA. I don't shoot IDPA. I've shot it like once or twice, and sorry, Ghost, but it bored me. Because I know Ghost.
Are you apologizing to me with it? I didn't come up with it.
I know, but I know you. That's what you like to shoot.
It depends on if you're talking.
I mean, I shoot IDPA because USPSA is fun. It's fun run and gun, but I shoot IDPA is for training. Okay. I mean, you shoot from a concealment garment. You shoot, and when you were talking earlier about you had to shoot different targets, one and all that. The main thing IDPA is they talk about tactical, awareness. They also talked about tactical. You had to shoot slice in the pie. You have to shoot because in a defensive threat, you always want to shoot the threat that you come to first or that's closest to you. So tactical priority is a big thing. USPSA, you're just out there shooting and all that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I enjoy shooting USPSA. Don't get me wrong, but I like the training side of thinking your way through something. That's why I do IDPA, because it's not, like I said, I'm not there to win. I'm there to learn and to get better.
Right. And yeah, I'm there to learn to get better. And really, any sport, any shooting sport that gets a gun in your hand, so you're more familiar with that gun, is a good thing.
The biggest thing that people forget is if you're in a home defense or a self-defense shooting scenario, most people have never shot a gun with an accelerated heart rate, just breathing hard. You hear that buzzer go off, no matter if it's PSA 3 gun, anything. You hear a buzzer go off, and your adrenaline gets pumping. It's good training because most people, like I said, have never fired a gun under stress.
Hey, am I quiet?
No, you're good.
Okay. Because I was talking there and it acted like nobody was hearing me. No, what I was saying was keep in mind that there's an international element to that too. So it would be interesting to see, okay, this may be the most popular in the U.S., but how does it compare worldwide?
Most countries don't offer competitive shooting.
Well, no. IPSC is absolutely 100% worldwide. That is, you could get in. You could go anywhere. Argentina, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, Russia, places that don't let the populace have guns. You could still do IPSC. Because they're like, oh, you have to be a part of clubs and stuff like that. And sometimes the guns even have to stay at the club. And it is like China has IPSC. I mean, everywhere has IPSC.
Too, because your precision stuff is Olympic level.
Mm-hmm.
You've got that too. Because you've got to have Olympic qualifiers and all that good stuff.
So with IDPA, what do you do in IDPA shoots?
Most countries don't offer competitive shooting.
What do you do in IDPA shoots?
Most countries don't offer competitive shooting.
What do you do in IDPA shoots? Like, what's the criteria?
IDPA, Ghost, you know a lot more about that than me.
I didn't hear the question. He was breaking up in my ear. What are you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. When you shoot IDPA, what does that entail? What what are the criteria? What are the limitations to like different firearms, and what do you have to do to shoot that? And what does that mean?
Yeah, they have different divisions depending upon the type and size of gun. You're talking the which is the it's basically concealed carry, where the biggest gun you can shoot in that division is a Glock 19. Okay, your gun has to fit inside this certain box. If it's too big, you have to go up to a different division. But no matter what division you shoot, you basically have to have a holster on a belt. It could be inside the waist, outside the waist. It doesn't matter. And a concealment garment. Now, most of the people that take it really serious, they'll wear like fishing vests because it's easier to get out of the way. But you can go with a T-shirt, a button-down shirt. You have to start every stage from concealment. So you can take whatever gun that you have, no matter what gun it is, whatever holster you have, and if you have something that can cover that up outside or inside the waist, you can go shoot IDPA. It makes no difference. So you don't have to have specialty guns. They don't. Most time, you'll never see people run red dots or RMRs or anything like that. Everything's is iron sights and it's stock, basically.
But
oh, I'm sorry, Foos. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think IDPA has a PCC division now. A rifle
yes,
division.
they do. Yes, they do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also I know with if I say something wrong, Ghost, please tell me. I think in IDPA that there is a not for score or not for competition or something like that. Like let's say you go there with something that does not fit in a category, you can still shoot for not for score.
I've never heard of that. Every gun you have is going to fit into a category. It just depends on it. I mean, you can go there and just say you're shooting, but any gun you take is going to fit inside a division.
Okay. All right. And then for USPSA, I'm going to screen share here because start off revolvers. Right here, you'll see moon clips. Most of them are cut down for 9mm or 38 supers. 38 special. Minor power factor, which I'll talk about power factor here in a second. This is of course, 2011. It's your double stack 40 caliber. You have 140mm magazines. At however many rounds you can fit in that, you can fit in it. Most people, you're 20, 21 rounds of 40. And then here are your open guns. These are your high dollar, could be $8,000, $9,000. These are your 38 supers, your 9mm majors. These are the bee's knees. I mean, high dollar. Your ammo has to be, going so fast. These comps work.
Tailored to the gun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very expensive. And then there are. Of course, some of them have slide rackers because you have that optic on top. You can't just rack it like normal. You could run PCCs. That's not a problem. You could run 1911s. You could run, CZ, Tanfo, Glocks. Here's a Glock in a limited with a magwell. You could run with an optic on it. Right here, CZ. Here's a Accu Shadow with an slide rod optic. So this would be a optics gun. I can't remember what it's called. What division that is. But I mean, you have a gun. You come and there's if it doesn't fit anything, you're going to get bumped open, which would suck if you have a 1911 style gun. But like 1911s, you could have 45 or 40 or even 9, but like 45 and 40, you could have 8 + 1, 9. You could have 10 rounds in your mag.
Mm-hmm.
Production is 9 rounds in your or 10 rounds in your magazine. Whenever you go to carry optics, that's what it is. Carry optics limited. It's however many you can fit in a 140 millimeter, 140.25 millimeter magazine. For open guns, it's whatever you can fit in 171. So you'll see open guns like right here. See how far her magazine is sticking out? She'll probably have 32 rounds of 9 millimeter or 38 super in that magazine. And our courses of fire are usually no more than 32 rounds. So very seldom do open guns have to reload. I mean, highly tuned stuff, and it's absolutely nuts. If you guys want to look at some shooters,
other than the actual the hardware, like the guns, what's the difference between IDPA and IPSC? Is it the
Rule
way
set.
that
okay? So IDPA here.
Because that's one of the things that like I don't understand. You know what I mean? When you guys talk about I went here and shot this, like, I understand obviously like steel target is like very simple and you're shooting for speed more, but not so much accuracy.
So with targets, this is a USPSA. This is called a metric target. That is, we could shoot that, or we could shoot this, which is called the classic target. They're also called turtle targets because it kind of looks like a turtle back. So if you shoot a minor power factor, which is usually your 9 millimeters, you could download 40s into it, but your A zone is worth 5 points. Your C zone is worth 3 points, and your D zone is worth 1. And major,
now you're talking about power factor. Does that mean you have to chronograph your rounds before you are allowed to shoot, so you actually know how much?
Yeah. You will know how fast. It's usually how heavy is your bullet. Sometimes they'll weigh your bullet, and then they'll shoot at 3 rounds, and they will look at your average. And your average better be wherever it is. So A, C, and right now we no longer have a B zone because that is actually the same points as a C. So A is worth 5 points in major or minor power factor. A C is worth either 3 in minor or 4 points in major, and a D is worth 1 point in minor and 2 points in major. So majors like your 40s and 45s, 38 supers, stuff like that. Just because they say it's more recoil, but you could anyway. So the score is how many points per second. So let's say I sit here and I have a run and I shoot 2 alphas and it takes me 2 seconds. Well, that's a hit factor of 5. Well, if I take and I hit 2 C's and it takes a second, my hit factor is 6. I mean, no, it'll be 6, because I got more points per second. So it's speed and accuracy in this. And then Ghost, you want to talk about the IDPA target?
I mean, yeah, it's basically if you're familiar with a B-27 target, it's a silhouette target basically, and we have the middle part and then the middle of the head. It's a down 0, and then outside of that, like the outside of the silhouette, the outer part of the silhouette is, and then the outside of the little circle on the headshot is a down 1. So then we have, if you miss, it's depending on the match, it's either down 5 or down 10 or whatever. If you break, all that, we don't have points basically. You take your raw time that you take to shoot that stage, and if you hit everything down 0, then your time is your time. If you have a time of, let's say, 20 seconds, and you're down 4 of that entire stage, your time is 24 seconds. So whatever you are down, whatever you miss outside the down zeros, you add those to seconds and add it onto your raw time. So it's all time, but it's accuracy and time. But we don't get points for shots. We just have either down 0, down 1, or if you have if you break protocol, if you shoot outside of a barrier, whatever, you hit a non-lethal target, you hit different things, you add those points, quote unquote, to your time. So it's all ends up being your score is a time.
Yeah. And we also have like right here, the black, that is,
you shoot
cover.
That, you're getting at least down 5. Yeah. That's hard cover. It's called a non-threat target.
See, for USPSA, if I hit 2 in this brown A and 1 in the black, that black does not, there's no penalty for that except for the time for me to shoot 3 rounds on this target. The extra,
that'll probably be a 5 second that's probably a 5 second penalty.
Okay.
Which is huge.
Yes, it is. And then for us, this white guy, if you see something like this, that is called a no shoot. That is minus 10 points if we hit this.
So it's like a hostage situation kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. So it kind of sounds to me like IDPA is a little bit more focused on accuracy because of the seconds it's going to take to, like, if you shoot. Get back to one of these targets. Where was it at?
Well, to a certain extent, you're right. I mean, like I said, its purpose is a defensive shooting. So, like I said, it is a competition. It is fun. It is a game. It is a contest. But its purpose is not how many rounds can you get out. Like in a normal stage in IDPA, you're looking at 18 rounds max. That's a normal stage where it could be 40, 50 rounds in USPSA. They're trying to get off rounds. We're trying to get off. And that's a difference. So that's what I'm saying. That some people like the running gun. Some people like the other side of it. So they have 2 different ways of looking at competitive shooting.
Yeah. So USPSA is 32 rounds max per the rules. Now, there's outlaw matches and stuff like that. I know there's one. There is a match out in Colorado. It's 300 pieces of steel for the entire match. And you have 50 pieces of steel per stage. And, it's whatever ammo's on your belt. Some people have 60 and 70 rounds on their belt. Some people have, carry well over 100 rounds on their belt. So, so I mean, it all depends on what you want to shoot whenever it comes to, this, I would say, starting with the pistol, start steel challenge, shoot USPSA, shoot IDPA. If you're scared to or shy or something like that, go and say, hey, I'm new, and you'll get hooked up with someone that has been shooting a while, and you will find the nicest guys. If you want to see, I know especially in USPSA, if you see someone shooting an open gun and you're like, hey, can I try it? They'll toss an, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 gun in your hand and say, and hand you a full magazine and say, have at it. I mean, I've shot many open guns, both 38 Super that may cost, 40, 50 cents a round. Even, tailor-made ones are home-rolled ones. And here's a full mag. It may cost them $3 a mag, but they'll give it to you. I'm not quite sure how it is in IDPA because I've only been to one of those matches.
IDPA is some of the best people in the world. You can go, and you can go there as a straight up beginner, and they will take their time and walk you through stage by stage. And if it takes you all day, it takes you all day. I was at a big shoot up in Tulsa, and guy had he had a meltdown in his gun, and it was done. And a guy goes to his bag, pulls out a Glock 34 and says, here's my backup, run it the rest of the day. Not a problem. Not a problem. No questions asked. Didn't even know the guy.
Yeah. There's been people like that. A buddy of mine, we were on the way to the range, and he texted me. He's like, hey, dude, do you have your backup? I went, no. Why? He's like, man, I'm not going to be able to shoot. I left my gun at home. I'm like, well, share. I mean, just instantly, boom, done. If someone's starting to run out of ammo, because usually, a local match is about 125, 130 rounds for 5-6 stages. You run out of ammo, there'll be people just tossing ammo at you. Here, shoot it. And
yep, I had someone steal some ammo, and which I thought it would ever happen, but someone stole 200 rounds from me one time in a match out of my ammo box. Because understand, you're talking an hour and a half sometimes between stages. If there's 200 people at this big match, you're sitting around for an hour and a half. So you go use the restroom, you go get something to eat. I come back and I've got 200 rounds missing out of my box. So and I didn't have enough to finish the last 2 stages. Next thing you know, a guy's pulling up 2 boxes of ammo. Here you go, man. On me.
And that's having 200 rounds or having gear or ammo or something disappear from your bag. That is
I've never heard of it before.
Normal. Yeah. That
no, like people were pissed. Like people were going to go and string this guy up, like literally. It's never happened before, ever.
Right. Now, just like at any range, you will have some people that will sit there, run their mouth. Oh, and I have this, I did that's to my gun, that, and then they suck at shooting, or they just are unsafe. Well, I say unsafe is they're just really incoherent with the gun there, and they're not breaking any rules, but there are some where whenever that guy's up, people are sitting there looking at him, making sure that they don't do something stupid. It doesn't happen often. It's usually at local ranges, but that's very few and far between, and usually those people don't shoot organized sport for very long, because they'll be like, oh, I'm so good at this, so good at that, and then you see me, almost 300 pounds, waddle up there and smoke them. So, and they get butt hurt and they don't show back up. That's another thing, is whenever you go to these competitions, you're not going to win. You're not going to be the fastest. You're not going to be the most accurate. You could be out there practicing and, shoot a 3-inch group at 50 yards all day long. But then you hear that beep, and all of a sudden you can't hit something that's 7 yards in front of your face. So it's totally different stress. And when you hear the beep of that timer, it's go time.
I've never looked it up to see if anything near me, if there's any near me. I really want to do that this summer if I can. I'd like that. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it a little bit tonight, because I wanted to get a little heads up on which one is the easiest for a beginner, the least stressful, the least expensive to get into, kind of thing.
So
do me a favor, go to a match and just watch. Don't compete. The first time, just go and watch. They'll let you come out there and just watch.
Yep.
And just have fun for an hour or two and just watch and have a good time and get an idea what it's like.
So I went
tailgate.
Yeah, in the both Google Hangouts and internal, or Google Chat, or internal and external on Google, I went ahead and put uspsa.org. If you go to the right, top right, there is a find club. You put in your city, state, zip, and it will show clubs near you. And you can click on them.
Yeah, same thing at IDPA. You can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
but you think
that way.
Would you say IDPA is probably the easiest and is the best for a beginner?
They're both going to be. I mean, you're talking about people that, I mean, you have world champion, world-class shooters shooting both of them. So, you're going to have beginners to masters at each one of them. It really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. One's not easier than the other. I know the rule sets are different between the sports. One may have more rules than the other, but basically if you say, hey, I'm new, they will, number one, they should go over rules. like safety rules. That's number one thing, safety. Like if you go somewhere, don't have your firearm loaded. Keep your firearm in a bag or in a box in your vehicle and go up to someone and say, hey, I am new. I'm new. Show me what's going on. They will get you squared away. Because I know in USPSA there are places where you can handle firearms.
That's correct. Yeah,
it's a cold range, both of them. No magazine in your gun, nothing in your chamber, hammer down. It's cold ranges because we're walking around for hours on ends with firearms.
You don't load until they tell you to load and make ready right there on the line.
Mm-hmm. No matter what, I mean, like if there's a barrel starts, the biggest thing in USPSA, if you are fairly new, is barrel starts. So that means your gun, either loaded or unloaded, starts on a barrel. And a lot of times, new guys, they're amped up. People are out there pasting, and they go pull their gun out and slap it on a barrel to get ready to start, even though it's not loaded or anything. And that's a quick way to go home. So do not pull your gun out of your holster until you are told to by the person that has the timer.
Yeah, there are 3 things that will get you sent home in IDPA and 3 things alone. Walking around with a loaded weapon, loading your weapon before you're told to, and breaking to 180. Mm-hmm. Everything else, they will stop you. They will walk you through it. As far as cover barriers and cover lines and all that, they don't care about all that stuff. You break the 180, you're going home. You walk around with a loaded weapon, you're going home. But that's it. Everything else they can fix.
Refusal to wear eye and ear protection is a way to go home too. So, like, for instance, in a match, a guy was shooting into the sun.
They won't kick you out for that. They'll just laugh at you and say, hey, man, if you don't want to go, then that's on you.
No, like per the rule books, if you refuse to wear it, that's a disqualification. But like he was in the middle of a stage, he couldn't see it because the glare was coming off his glasses. He yanked him off, and we stopped him right there. He wasn't refusing. He just got to score the stage as is. It's a safety hazard because if you catch steel, like every time I go to the range, and pretty much every match, I get hit with steel, ricochets off steel. It's little fragments of a bullet. Doesn't hurt. It just hits you. Okay, whatever. Go on. I get hit all the time, and if you don't have eye-ear protection on, that's a bad thing. So that's why USPSA, you have to do it. You have to have your eye and ear pro.
I think that's every competition in the world, though. I mean, everyone. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
You're going to have ear and eye protection on, even if you're not shooting. If you're in that stage, you're not there. If you're with 10 people in a squad, you've got ear and eye protection on, or you're not even allowed to be in there.
Right. So C4 Defense said, what about the video of the guy putting up targets while the guy was shooting a course fire? He was actually picking up brass. That there were so many failures. Number one, don't pick up brass until the very end of the match. It's an unwritten rule. But number two, the person with the timer, it is their job to make sure that the course is clear of people. So, yeah,
I can't speak for everywhere, but most of the matches that I go to, inside the safety briefing before the match starts, they'll tell you every piece of brass that hits the ground is ours.
And I was just going to ask, is that common for them for people to pick up brass like that, or
like for what he said is like if
there's going to be a ton of it laying around.
Yeah, like in USPSA, usually at the end of local matches, you put up all the stage props, and then if you want to clear the stage of brass, you could do it. I know there are some clubs that say once the brass hits the ground, it's ours. If I go to a range that is like that for a level 1 match, which is your local stuff, I will not go back there. Your level 2s, level 3s, level 4s, which level 2 is section match, which is like a state match. A level 3 is an area match where there's 8 areas in the United States. Level 4 is national match. Those are considered brass loss matches because, in a level 2 match, you're trying to get 300-400 people through in 2 or 3 days.
You're also talking about people who are probably sponsored, so they're not looking for the brass anyways.
Right. Well, it's a volunteer sport, and it's a volunteer sport. Like if I go and I, let's say, last year I went up to, Kansas City and I RO'd range officer. I ran a stage. Well, I spent the gas to go up there. I spent several days working up there and everything. A way to help pay that is a lot of times the people who work that stage get the brass off the stage if they want. So it's a way to help pay them a little bit. But yeah, if it's a level 1 local stuff and they're like, if the brass hits the ground, it's ours, I won't go back there.
So you said wait till the end of you wait till the end of the competition to pick up brass. At locals,
yeah.
If you have 20 some guys that are shooting, well, I mean, what the hell happens at the end of that? I mean, how do you? And a bunch of guys want brass.
So a lot of times, what will happen is, let's say there's 20 guys shooting. Most likely, half of them will, boom, hop in their vehicle and gone.
Right.
And then you just go to a stage, and a lot of times people will, let's say it's a 125 round match. They'll go up and they'll pick about how much they shoot and go on. Sometimes, if you're new in the sport, new to reloading, you will grab all the brass you can. And that's perfectly fine as well. You just have to go and, let's say, I shoot 9. Let's say, Travis, you're out there and you're shooting 40, and I know you're shooting 40, and I pick up, 50 rounds of 40. I'm like, here's some 40 for you. It's, I mean, it is. Everyone's nice, especially when it comes down to that. No one's going to be like, hey, that's my brass, unless it's a 38 super guy, because his brass is crazy expensive. But usually 9, 40, 45. I mean, some 45 guys will take and mark their brass, but usually 45 guys, they will go around looking for their own brass because there's very few 45 shooters anymore. It's all usually 9 and 40 because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So,
because I could see that being kind of a free for all if you get a couple of people out there that are assholes.
You're also talking about a local match, let's say, has 20 or 30 people. It's also going to have 5 to 8 stages. So it's not like all 20 or 30 people are on one stage going first come, first serve. It's, it's one of those things.
That and there's usually, 3, 4, 5 shooting positions on a stage. So let's say, Ghost and I are sitting there shooting an IDPA match. I'll go to one area that everyone's been shooting and he'll go to another. Well, I may pick up, let's say it's a 100-round match. I may go and pick up 150 rounds from that one area, and he may pick up, his 150 rounds from his own area, and we won't even cross paths.
And we're in the same state. We're in the same bay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the same bay. We could be 3 feet apart from each other. So,
they're talking about. You mentioned it too. Out there, I didn't see that. If anybody has a link for that video, throw that out there. I'd be interested to see that shit because people keep talking about it.
So, this happened 3 years ago? I'm thinking
3 or 4, yes,
something like that. Well, this one guy, they started shooting, and it was the walls had either not cardboard, but it was completely solid.
Right.
And he started
visually
shooting.
You couldn't see through.
Yeah, started shooting, and then all of a sudden the RO said stop, and the guy's like, what's wrong? And there was a guy picking up his brass right there. The shooter didn't even see him.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see him at all because you're focused in on what you got to do.
Right.
And I mean, was the guy in danger of being shot? Yes. But was he, in my opinion, truly worried, in danger of being shot? Most likely not, because we train on, hitting these targets. Most people are pretty good shots. Was he in grave danger? Probably not, but he was in danger. It was very stupid of the RO. That's why you start seeing the snow fences and stuff like that, where you can see right through walls now.
Yeah, a lot of them are like that. I saw a bunch that were like that plasticky.
Yeah,
like you see it at like construction sites and stuff like that.
Yeah. Barrier mesh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody has a link to that, throw it out there if you can find it.
That's also a weight issue a lot of times for putting it up, putting them down, storage. The barrier mesh, PVC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just roll it up and be done with it and move and use it next time or whatever, I'm sure.
Right.
I saw CS Blue was out there. He posts a ton of stuff on Instagram of the shoots that he goes to.
Yeah.
He always tags me in them. They're really cool. It's some really neat stuff. Yeah, I've never been able to do anything, and over the past 6 months or so, I've really gotten like interested in trying to do something.
Talking, Poos put a link out earlier for some stuff, but if you're looking at outside of, I guess, IPSC or just PSA or IDPA or whatever, still challenge. If you're at anything NRA based, and I know it's going to sound bad, but call the NRA, specifically ask for competition or match, division or office or branch, and those guys they know their crap. They're really cool, and they can help you find stuff in your area too.
I threw a link out there too. If anybody has the Gun Channels chat pulled up, G was posting a ton of stuff down there. When he started doing it, when we were talking about the oldest ones, when different ones started, he has some. What did he start with? The American Trap Shooting Association, founded in 1900, and then. He posted a whole bunch of them, and then posted a link to the Minuteman University, to one of his Minuteman universities. I put that in the side chat, and I also put it out on the YouTube. I'll put it out there again.
So I just posted a DQ fails, stuff that you don't want to do in USPSA. You'll look at it and go, oh my God. And the thing is if you get disqualified, it happens to everyone. Last year, was it? Top 15 person in the nation from the year before got disqualified at nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of a video or two like that a while back, and some of them are not even safety issues or whatnot. Like there was one dude that he went to the ground to take some ground shot, and his pistol came out of his holster, and he got disqualified and didn't even realize it happened.
That was in 3-gun. I remember that one.
Yeah, there's other ones where they missed the barrel when they put the gun in it, and just little so it's pretty interesting to watch. So if you go down into, like I said, if you go down to the Gun Channels chat, G put a ton of stuff. 1831 first recorded trap shooting match, 1860 first recorded pistol match. Now these are recorded, obviously. 1896 first Olympic Games with 9 sports. In Greece, 4 pistol event and 2 high-powered rifle. In 1897 first World Shooting Championships. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. He did a lot of work in the gun channels chat today. I feel bad. I tried to get him onto the chat, but he said he was doing other stuff. But
and if you're up north, there are indoor matches as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
even back in the day, early 1900s or so, dueling, was in the Olympics. So.
The founders of IDPA: Bill Wilson, John Sale, Ken Hackathorn, Dick Thomas, Walt Roush, and Larry Vickers.
And USPSA was developed in Columbia, Missouri. It's as an offshoot of IDPA. So.
In IDPA, the stages are scenarios we might encounter in real life, and they have normal scoring that you can understand.
Yeah, so that's the thing with USPSA. It's you talk about the different stages and our different scoring. If you break it down into how many hits, how many points per second, it makes a lot of sense. So, it's how many points per second?
Yeah. Snowy, I sent you a link there.
Okay, so the video I sent, if you go to the about 350 mark, it's out there. And actually, this is an older one, and the guy's actually in very grave danger. Here, I'll do a screen share. I won't actually. It's going to be here. So this is a bad thing. He's out here shooting, and there's a guy down here.
Oh
he
my
is
God!
Taping target. Yeah, and there's a target right here and target right there. So yes, in this one, he is very much in danger.
Wow.
So he's going to get stopped right about here. And the thing is, how the heck did he not? And the thing is he's up here shooting, and how the heck did this guy not hear it until now?
Yeah.
And he got swept like 2 or 3 times. So.
It looks like right there, right before he did notice, it looks like he turned around and looked at him like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
It's somebody shooting at me. Holy shit.
Yeah. But, once you get in competition shooting, you hear gunfire and you won't blink. You'll hear rounds going off and you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
I guess you get used to it, kind of.
Yeah. Like when that was Oklahoma this past spring, there was some shots that were like right about the 175 degree mark, and buddy of mine and I were sitting there talking, and all of a sudden he started shooting. I looked at the competitor, and I was at about 190 degree mark. So whenever I looked at the competitor, I was looking right down the barrel. I was like, all right, whatever. He's not breaking 180. I'm good. Just you just get comfortable with it, and they're not going to break it, and go on. So, yeah.
I don't know. Anything else?
Well,
I mean, I know you guys covered a whole lot of stuff, and that's kind of what I wanted, man. I wanted to just, have it be a kind of a free for all.
We covered a lot of pistol stuff. If you want to get into rifle, there's PRS. There is 3-gun. There's 2-gun, which is usually a shotgun and rifle. USPSA, you could also do shotgun and pistol. You could also run
steel.
Yep. I mean, there's if you have a desire to do something, just put competition and then whatever you want to do. You don't even have to know what like a PRS, which is precision rifle shooting.
That reminds me a fun one that, and thanks for mentioning that, Boost, about just typing in whatever you want because it's true. Bowling pin matches are so much fun.
Yes. And people use what 44 mag or 44 special. You want your heavy bullets for that because you got to push the pin off the table.
Mm-hmm. And you have to. The thing with that bowling pin is you have to hit it just right, too.
Right. Or else sit there and spin.
And
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy how indestructible they are. I've shot bowling pins. We have some up at camp, and it's crazy what you shoot them with. And it's like you go up and you look, and it's just like got a dent in it, or just like a nick, you know.
Now something else. Let's say you want to shoot precision, but you don't want to shoot 6.5 Creedmoor or anything like that. They do precision 22 matches as well.
Mm-hmm.
That will go out to 300 yards with a 22 long rifle.
We, at our precision steel tournaments, we take anything with a 243 as pretty much the lowest that will allow. 223 every once in a while, but 243 is about the lowest. That's the average. But we've got guys that'll shoot that out to 1,000 yards. Not the easiest shots in the world, but it can be done, and that's part of what makes the precision steel shooting fun.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is like with precision steel shooting, we don't care. Like this year, my plan is to run a 6.5 Creedmoor Ruger American $500 rifle at max. I'm probably going to spend maybe $300-400 on an optic and run it on a bipod. And that's what I'm going to shoot the tournament with this year. I don't want to build another gun where it's a race gun. I end up spending $3,000-4,000 on it. I want to buy something off the shelf and see what I can do with it this year. And there's a lot of people that come out with that. And the nice thing about the precision rifle guys is we're all willing to sit there and teach people. You've got people that are just sport shooters. That's all they do is they shoot for sport. And they'll outshoot me as somebody who is a designated marksman as a security contractor. So you get people from all types of walks of life that are willing to sit there. We've had guys where they come and, oh, well, my rifle is not acting right. Well, we'll help them go through and come to find out, hey, your dope's off. So we help them adjust that, or else then we put them behind some of our actual built guns and show them this is the difference here. If you're going to work on something, if this is a rifle you want to stay with, maybe this is the type of stuff that you need to work on. Free floating the barrel, working on actually smoothing out the action with the bolt cycling. It's a lot of things like that. And that's the thing, is the precision people are some of the nicest people in the firearms community that I've ever met, and they're willing to teach people. And a lot of people get scared because they hear, oh, 1,000 yards. Well, 1,000 yards really isn't that long when you put it into perspective, and most people have the ability to shoot 1,000 yards once you teach them the proper way of doing it. So don't let a competition where they're saying you're going to be shooting 6 to 8 stages and anywhere from 100 to 1,000 yards, don't let that 1,000-yard mark scare you, because there's going to be plenty of opportunity for you to hit. And the more tournaments you shoot, the more you talk to people at these tournaments, we're going to be able to help you get your shooting skills down a lot better, to where if you just go and you're that quiet guy who goes and shoots his round, but you're having a bunch of issues and you don't ask questions, well, then there's no way for us to help you. But if you're willing to talk to those people, we're all there to learn as well. I've learned from people that have never been in military, security contracting, police, SWAT, anything like that. I've learned more from some of those guys that just do this for fun than from some of the instructors that I've paid to go learn from.
So usually no question is a dumb question unless it's like, oh, how many thousands of rounds do you shoot a year? Don't ask that. Don't, ask safety things, or, why did you shoot it in that array? Why did you shoot, like precision stuff? Why did, what was your holdover or something like that? That's all going to be so different on calibers and stuff like that. Go safety stuff. Why did you shoot it in this array? What were you looking at for this? Stuff like that. Ask.
Yeah, and
there's not a stupid question.
a big question that a lot of people ask is, well, what's the best caliber for precision shooting? And to be honest, there is no 100% perfect round for any type of precision shooting. You've got 6 Creedmoor, you've got 6.5 Creedmoor, you've got 308. Like I said, we've got people that shoot 260, 243, 223. You've got people who will shoot all of that, and then you'll come to some of these competitions. Bolt guns are still prevalent in precision rifle competitions, but you do see some guys run on a gas gun, an AR-15 or an AR-10 platform. There's such a wide array that don't necessarily focus on the specific rifle. Ask them, hey, what did you do to your rifle to help get it better? A lot of people don't realize free floating a barrel is one of the things that can help with precision on even, say, a $300 Savage Access more than anything, but most people don't understand what a true free floated barrel is. So ask those types of questions. Don't necessarily focus on the caliber or the specific rifle.
Now, if you see, a guy, let's say you are trying to go out to 1,000 yards, and the scope you have, you may not be able to see clearly. Ask people, what optics they have or what brand of optics, and they may be able to say, okay, we'll set it up and let you look through, and the clarity difference. I'm sure there's ways to do that in a PRS.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like a big thing with us is a lot of us try different optics. I mean, right now I'm just thinking I've probably got 10 different optics sitting around the house. A lot of us try a lot of different optics, and we try a lot of different price points as well. A lot of us won't be afraid to, if you're actually showing up to tournaments, here's one of my optics. Go get your rifle sighted in and go ahead and try that. I've got anywhere from, I think the cheapest optic that I run is like $300 up to, I think the most expensive that I have in my house right now is about a $3,000 optic. It all depends on what you want to spend, and people there will be able to give you a suggestion on wide ranges of it. Don't think you have to spend all this money to go in and get into this competition. Essentially, what we tell people to bring to these tournaments and to these competitions is a good attitude. Bring a rifle that has a bipod on it that's in 6.5, 6 Creedmoor, 308, 243, one of those calibers, and don't bring a Magnum caliber. After that, we'll help you and we'll teach you from there.
Yeah, money is not a substitute for skill, practice, correct, form, or yeah.
So, quick question. Like, I know I've said this a bunch of times. No matter how much the gun is, that's the cheap part. Is that the same in PRS? Meaning all the training, all the ammo, all the time at range and stuff, that is where a lot of your money will end up being. So, buy once, cry once. If you want to do a certain, like, especially in pistol division, if you want to shoot open, you're going to drop, on the low end $4 or $5 grand, but buy once, cry once. If you want to shoot production, which, most people will start either in production or limited minor, just go out and start shooting and figure out where you fall. Don't go out and buy something for a competition. Take what you already have, because usually what you already have will put you in a certain spot, and you don't know what you want or need until you get into the sports. With that, yeah. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, Foos, that's cool. I appreciate it, man. I put your link, your email for the business, I guess.
Thanks. Yeah.
I guess that's what you can call it, the business.
Yeah.
And if anybody needs to find you, you're over on Gun Channels. And
on Facebook. And I'm doing 9mm right now. I hopefully at some point this year I'll break into 40, but it all depends on how much 9mm I could sell. So
I know you personally are on Instagram, but are you going to have an Instagram for the business too?
Eventually, yes, I will.
Okay. Yeah, that would be really cool. That way you can, maybe some of the guys that use your stuff can start posting some cool videos of them using it, at some of the competitions and stuff. That'd be awesome to watch.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's Sports Shooters Ammunition. You can catch me on Facebook and Gun Channels. with that. I need to get to bed because my 9 to 5 is going to be. I'm one of the few ones that has to work tomorrow. So.
Oh no, I'll be there.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a long ass day. No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
See you guys.
Yep. You guys that Ghost took off, but Clover or Snowy, you shoot. I don't know if any of you guys, Sarge, I don't know if you've shot competitions at all or not, but do you have anything to add, to throw in? Anything interesting?
I have nothing to add.
For me, my biggest thing is I just encourage everybody to go out and get involved in it. Go watch a couple matches if that's what it takes. I mean, for me, the closest match for PRS, which is precision rifle shooting, around me is about an hour away. But you know what? When I decided that I wanted to start shooting the tournaments, I'm glad I went and watched maybe a match or two before actually going out and trying to do it. Go out and watch a match. Don't think you have to spend a bunch of money to get into any type of shooting sport. Odds are is if and a lot of people in the precision rifle shooting sense will frown at this. If you've got a hunting rifle and a scope and it can have a bipod mounted on it, you can go start shooting precision rifle tournaments. You're probably not going to do the best, but at least you're getting involved in it. Then you can start learning where you need to go from there. Don't think you have to go out and spend thousands of dollars. You're honestly better off maybe getting a cheaper rifle platform, because odds are is that stock rifle is going to shoot better than what you can, and getting the range time in and getting the rounds down range. That's going to be the more important thing, is training and going out and enjoying it. And the biggest thing to remember is have fun. You're not shooting necessarily to be the best all the time. I don't think anyone that I shoot with locally is hoping to be a professional precision shooter, and that's all they get paid to do. A lot of us, we just go out there to have fun. Most of us work 9 to 5 jobs, and that's our stress reliever. So make sure you go out there and enjoy yourself. Don't make it too serious. Other than that, I've got really nothing else to add.
Yeah, that's true. If you're not having fun, it's not worth doing it. It's like anything else in life.
That's why I suggested the festivals.
Yeah, the big thing to me is if you're going out and doing a lot of the shooting, I mean, shooting's not a cheap hobby to have. If you're going out and shooting and not enjoying yourself, to me, you're just shoving money up a hog's ass at that point. You got to enjoy yourself, and that's the thing. And it'll translate into your shooting, too. If I go into a tournament and I've been pissed off all morning, or I've just had a really bad morning when I'm going out to shoot, it's going to translate into my shooting. My shots are going to be off. My shot placement's not going to be where it needs to be. Maybe I'm pulling the trigger too hard. Maybe I'm using too much finger on the bang switch. There's a million things that can go wrong. So make sure you go out and enjoy yourself. Don't take it too seriously and get stressed.
That's true to an extent, but it's also a coping mechanism to where when things aren't going right or whatever, you can go out and get in your little safe space, or whatever you want to call it, your zone. Right, and then that's time it pulls you away from that. So it's kind of a coping mechanism too. Once you've got those fundamentals down, and you start concentrating on the things that you need to be concentrating on instead of your crappy day the day before or whatever.
Yeah, definitely, and it's one of those things. The other thing is to practice for PRS. You don't have to have a local range that you can go out and shoot 1,000 yards every day. Like I said, the closest range I can shoot 1,000 yards is, for me, is an hour away at least. For me, the farthest I can really shoot at a range around here, or any of the properties I have access to within a half hour of where I'm at, is about 500 yards as a maximum. So don't think you have to go out and train that. You'll go out and you'll get used to shooting at 500 yards, and then all of a sudden you'll go out to a tournament where you shoot 1,000. And when you hit that 1,000 yard for the first time, it's going to be the biggest smile on your face. You don't have to necessarily have the range to get to practice it.
Yeah, there's a range within driving distance for me. I don't say it's out past State College that Coda Boy shoots at a lot. He does a lot of his videos out there. He just started going out there this year, and that's 1,000 yards. I've never been out to it. I really need to. I've been wanting to go out so bad. I want to take my Savage out there. I've never shot anything over 100 yards. It bugs me. I can't.
Well, and the other thing I always say too is you don't always necessarily have to go out and be putting rounds down range to get the practice in too. What are those? The snap caps or whatever, the dummy rounds that don't damage your firing pin when you're pulling the trigger. You can get for example, I think the Ruger American has a 4-round mag that comes with it. You can load those up with the snap caps, practice your cycling of the bolt, which eventually helps you get smoothed out. You can practice your trigger pulls. You can practice your prone position. Sometimes you have to get used to being in that specific position for an extended period of time. Well, you could do that at home, being in a prone position, being in a kneeling position, and you have to get used to being able to do that with the rifles. So having an unloaded rifle and being able to do that at home is another way of practicing. You don't always have to get out to the range to do that type of practice. It's the same thing with practicing drawing from a holster or anything like that.
Very cool. I don't know. Anything else? If not, we'll move on to topics of the day. I appreciate it. C4 says he thought Coda was from North Carolina. He is from North Carolina. He works in Harrisburg.
That's a long drive.
It is. Yeah,
That's a hell of a commute.
Yep. Yeah, and then he'll head out, northwest to wherever the hell that range is. I can't remember what it's called.
New York City?
Man, I can't kick this cough. Get over this cold. That's out past State College somewhere. I don't really know where it is. I can't remember. I knew the name of it because I looked it up a couple times as I wanted to go out there. And a guy I know that owns a restaurant has actually told me about it a few years ago. Before his son passed away, they used to go out and shoot there. They had a membership. I don't think it's very expensive. But yeah, that's a hike, man. I don't know if he does it every day. I don't know if he does it every day or not. I'm not sure. But that is a lot of time in a car, man, for sure. Did you guys see the jabroni in Florida that took his AR into the convenience store because he was pissed off about the price of cigarettes?
That
Florida
sounds
man.
like a very reasonable response.
Yeah, Florida man. Yeah, if you watch Donut Operator, Florida man, another
Florida
man.
man's at it again.
Yeah. Got the article here.
Isn't that where they had those fuckers that were high on, what was it, meth or something, that were actually trying to eat people? Not last year or the year before.
Well, that
too?
was that was a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
bath salts.
Louderhill man brings loaded assault rifle into store over dispute on cigarette price. Yeah.
And you know it was over like a quarter coupon or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. According to officials, 60-year-old Robert Miller brought the rifle into the store because he was upset over the price of 2 packs of cigarettes. I'm speechless, said customer. Wow, look at this guy name. This guy's name is Jacques Momirhouse. Momirhouse. He says, "Do we need all that?" Says the arrest report said Miller had entered the supermarket. Oh, I thought it was a convenience store. Entered the supermarket prior to the incident to buy 2 packs of Pall Mall cigarettes, but he left because the price was $11 and he only had $10.
He's bitching about
$1. Yeah, investigators said Miller was so upset about the dollar difference that he grabbed his long rifle and returned to confront the clerk. Yo, cuz brought a rifle, said one customer in response to the footage. Yo, cuz brought a rifle. I'm assuming that's what it sounded like. Crazy, added another. This is nuts. Aggravated Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, improper exhibition of a firearm or dangerous weapon. I guess that's just another way to say brandishing. Said judge.
Did they charge him with speaking in a no stupid zone?
Did he have it flung?
No, he had it in his hand. He had it. He was holding it. Yeah, he was holding it by the handle, by the grip. Mag in and the whole nine.
So instead of buying the 1 pack of cigarettes, which he apparently had money for,
He just was falling down.
You go out and get your rifle and come back so you can get your 2 packs of cigarettes that you're $1 short for.
Yep. Seems
reasonable for Florida, man.
I fucking wish I could get 2 packs of smokes for $12 here in Wisconsin.
Oh,
I'm
God,
paying $19.
If you went into Chicago and Cook County, that $10 wouldn't even get you a pack.
Yeah,
And that's the crazy thing. So when I graduated high school in 2010, I lived in Illinois for 2 or 3 months after I graduated. I was able to go down to the border in Illinois and get cigarettes. But when I moved back to Wisconsin, like a year later, that was not the case. I lived maybe 15, 20 minutes from hopping the border into Illinois. Now, if I go down to Illinois, I pay more for cigarettes than ever. And they used to be way cheaper than what Wisconsin was. Not anymore.
Yeah, those days are over.
Oh, and going back to the precision rifle thing, before I forget to mention, I just did the math. So the setup I'm going to be using, I'm going to get away with about $349 for optics, $400 for the rifle, and $75 for a good bipod. Total, I'm at $804. That seems like a lot of money, but when you realize what you're actually getting for the gun, you can easily get into precision rifle for under $1,000. A lot of people think that it takes a lot more than that. It doesn't. You can get into it for under $1,000.
Yeah, we I've talked about my 308 before, what I have into that, and it's $1,000. Then I think I have a really nice setup. Unfortunately, I don't have anywhere right near me that I can shoot more than 100 yards, so it doesn't matter. But so here's this.
Just go to the second floor and shoot down.
Yeah. It adds what, like 5 yards? Not even a yard. No, there's no sound because it's. But here's your boy here. People are just standing there like, what the fuck? You son of a bitch! I don't want to look at you assholes.
Oh, so I just found out that on Wednesday, when I finish up the job that I'm at currently, when I go back in, one of my final acts gets to be I have to fire one of my employees. He just got hit with the 7th DUI earlier in the month, somehow got out on a bail, and is expecting to come back to work on, Wednesday or Thursday. There's no fucking way. Seven DUIs, and that makes it...
You have to be trying to get 7 DUIs.
Yeah.
His first one was in 89. Then he was good till like 2001. So that's when he got his second. And then come to find out, and the only reason I know all of this is because Wisconsin, it's all public information. Then all of a sudden, like 2014, he got the other 5. Or he got 4 more. And then all of a sudden this, like, I think it was December 20th is when he got. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, but 7 freaking DUIs, and what pisses me off even more, Wisconsin fucking let him out. It's automatic jail time. He's going to jail no matter what. In the state of Wisconsin, I think it's after your 5th, it's automatic jail time. They gave him fucking bond. And you're telling the guy who's got hit with 7 DUIs that, oh yeah, you have to maintain absolute sobriety. You think he's going to do that? And then the other question for it is he just got hit with a DUI in like 2017. After your 5th, you're supposed to have an interlock in your vehicle for 2 years. Why the fuck didn't he have an interlock in his vehicle?
You'll blow and go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about obnoxious either.
You know, Sarge wants Angelina to get in her.
What? Wow. Sarge, that's
wow. I kind of
that's a
left
bit
out
much.
here. There's the E.
That's a bit much.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to the best part of this whole story yet. This will be the
that's not
fifth
what I
person I've fired in the last month for getting a DUI at my job. At my current job, this will be the fifth person.
Pink says we had a guy here, or said we had a guy have 21 DUIs before the news crew watched him leave the court, hop in a van, and leave.
What the fuck?
Nice.
Like I
He's
don't
like, "I'm
I
outta
don't know
here."
if there's a federal law that all of a sudden after a certain amount it becomes a felony, but I know after the third in Wisconsin it's automatically a felony too. Oh, and the best part is this guy's a felon and he admitted to having guns in his home. He's not getting charged with any of the firearms possessions either, and he was able to release them to his niece.
Why'd you guys hire him?
I didn't have a choice in that one.
That seems like the fault there.
I don't get to hire people. I only get to fire them, apparently. And I flat out looked at the owner. I'm like, and you wonder why I'm leaving. I technically start my new job on the 1st, but I have a couple days to finish with them, so I'll be working 2 jobs at the time. But I flat out looked at the owner. I'm like, this is why I'm leaving, because these are the piece of shit people you keep giving me to train and have working here.
Yeah, that's tough.
Did he show up to work drunk?
No, he didn't. One of the guys I fired did. He got a DUI, got out of jail the next day, and ended up coming into work, and he was still pissed drunk, apparently. And I watched him try getting on a forklift, and I went over and fucking grabbed the key out and sent him home and told him not to come back. So we're in a food manufacturing plant. So you have to abide by extra restrictions. Then on top of that, our insurance is already through the roof because they never had a forklift driving training class apparently before I started there. So they had fucking people crashing into walls and shit like that. So our insurance is through the fucking roof. And then come to find out, every single one of these assholes that has a DUI there, their fucking insurance goes up by like $500 a month per employee for it.
They're all drunk.
50 employees. I mean, you're talking at $25,000 for insurance just because of fucking 5 people with DUIs.
Yeah. Yeah. Restaurants are like that too. You get you can get reductions on your insurance by having people do certain training and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice. That's pretty crazy though.
How much of a reduction do you get for teaching people how to walk with butter soles?
None. Are you don't you have to be, isn't it a state law normally that you have to be certified to drive a forklift, or is that just because of the insurance thing most places require it?
It's just because of the insurance thing that most places require it, as far as I know. I know Wisconsin does not currently have a law for it. They fucking need to, because 90% of these places. Then actually, it's ironic. The company I'm going back to is Generac Power Systems. They're the world's largest portable generator manufacturer.
Yeah. Yep.
I apprenticed with them in high school as a CNC machinist, so I have a shoe-in to go back with them. So they hired me back at way more than I was making before, better benefits and stuff like that. The old safety manager that we had when I was there in high school no longer is employed there, come to find out, because about a year after I left, he caught a office employee walking out on the floor. She was in the marked off area, but it's required to have steel-toed boots. Well, she's in the safety area to where she's allowed to walk through just to go grab an employee, bring them into the HR office. Well, he walks up to her. Those aren't steel toes, and slams his fucking boot down onto her toe in like these little high heels, ends up breaking her fucking foot. This is a safety manager that's supposed to prevent, injuries or anything like it does this. So yeah, he ended up getting fired and sued and all kinds of stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus, I'm kind of scared to see what they've got now. Then I met the new safety manager. He doesn't have any DUIs, and he seems like he's got kind of a quarter of a brain. So hopefully they fix some of that shit.
Yeah.
Or I've seen people I had a guy come to work drunk at one of the machine shops that I worked at, left a spindle running and opened his door to go grab a part. Well, the spindle's only about yay far from the part. Sticks his hand in there, takes the top of all 4 fucking fingers off.
Oh.
He's drunk. So yeah, he didn't go there, and then come to find out after that, that company got hit with like a $300,000 insurance claim, and on top of that, their premium went through the freaking roof. Extra $20,000 a month.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now we had that one. I've had a couple of guys. I had to fire a couple of guys because they were drunk, for sure. Had a couple of guys interview that were fucking wasted. Showed up to interviews to shit faced. That's always interesting.
I had a guy show up to his DWI trial drunk.
That I believe. I believe that's more common than probably people would believe.
They turned it into a contempt of court hearing. He got found in contempt, and they said, "Go with your officer." And the judge pointed at me. I'm like, "What am I going to do with this guy?" So I ended up having to go take him to jail for a day.
Just take him, put him in there with Otis, don't you?
Yep.
Otis.
Here's one you'll get a kick out of, Sarge. So we had a school resource officer. He got a DUI for flipping a four-wheeler out on the ice drunk. They let him stay on as an officer, and then he was our school resource officer because he got another couple DUIs and wasn't actually allowed to pull anybody over in the state of Wisconsin, so he was just a school resource officer. Well, then he all of a sudden started faking his girlfriend. She was on absolute sobriety. She had to have random breathalyzers and stuff. He'd fake it, say that, oh yeah, she blew completely clean, signed all this on court records. They didn't catch on to this until after the fucker robs a bank with the gun that he was issued by the police department with the fucking radio he was issued by the police department.
Oh, that's sweet.
Good one.
I just want to know, what in the world is going on in Wisconsin?
Yeah, right. It's fancy.
It's not even Wisconsin. That's the crazy part. So if you go into Milwaukee County, they're getting a lot more strict on this type of stuff. Waukesha County, where I grew up, fucking shit show. Then you come out to Walworth County. The sheriff's deputies, the sheriff's department, the police department in my town, like the one where my future father-in-law is the police chief of, all great. But then you come in and they charge all these people, then they go to court, and I don't know what the fuck it is with the judges in Walworth County. They let these fuckers off and give them like absolute minimal sentences. Then on top of that, one of the judges in Wisconsin, who was also an attorney, just lost his law license to practice law in any form or fashion because his license was suspended in 2016 and he continued to practice law.
Sounds like a union town to me.
Yeah. One time I was interviewing someone and he burped and smoke came out and it was weed and he laughed and said, haha, I just took a couple hits before I came in.
You hired him on the spot, didn't you?
I was like, yeah, dude, you're hired.
He burped and smoke came out.
Yeah, it was weird, and it smelled like weed in the room, and I was.
Did he at least tell me he was doing it wrong?
I was like,
You're not supposed to swallow the smoke, dickhead.
Yeah.
You know, the other one that's really common that I keep hearing a lot of is people going in to see their probation officer and having to take a piss test, and when they go to empty their pockets, dropping a fucking bag of weed on the ground.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Around here, they drop meth.
Yeah, my little town hasn't had too much issue with meth. You go to the town I grew up in, which is literally 5 minutes away from here. Yeah, there's a huge issue with meth there. So,
how much is it for you to not see that meth drop, Sarge?
Do what?
How much is it for you to not see that meth drop?
Unfortunately, you can't look away from that one.
Oh, and I don't know if I ever told this story, but about it was it was the January 1st of 2017. Apartment building's right behind mine. About 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden I hear like gunshot. Okay, check mag, everything's fine. Go check people in my apartment, fine. Walk outside, All of a sudden, I see the local cops come up, and I know all the local officers. I'm friends with a couple of them. We all go to the same gun shop and everything. Suddenly, I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Well, come to find out, a couple of drunks decided that they were going to play Russian roulette with a loaded 44 mag. One of them didn't end up winning so much, but it wasn't because he ended up losing the game of Russian roulette. It's because his buddy, who was pissed drunk, got pissed that after they played the game, no one seemed to get shot. So he takes the gun, points it at his buddy, and says, "This fucking thing's broken." Pulls the trigger. Boom. Ends up killing his buddy.
Well, idiots, right? What a world.
Every story about Wisconsin involves a drunk.
I thought
Every TV show and every movie also, I think.
Wow, and I thought Illinois was bad.
And the,
no,
like
Illinois has
the top
nothing
spin to the story was they're playing Russian roulette with a 44 Desert Eagle.
It's some of the shit around here is insane. And the really sad part is I get a kick out of it. I don't really drink. Every once in a while I'll go out and have a drink, but I really don't drink. But if you look at most of the top 10 lists of like drunkest cities in the United States, normally it'll be like 6 or 7 of them that are are from Wisconsin. Like, people need to find something better to do with their time around here. And like, so every year the county does a poll and sees like which employers are paying the best. We're offering an $8,000 sign-on bonus for somebody to come in that's not fucking drunk at work, and we're offering $22 an hour with no experience just to keep people at my job right now that don't have DUIs that are willing to work. Since I've started there, I worked for them part-time, and then I've taken full-time and then dropped down to part-time. About a year now, they've gone through 50 employees because of stupid shit like that. So, I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm biding my time. I know it's going to be a long time, but I'm just waiting until I'm at retirement age and can move 8 hours up north where I don't got to deal with this shit. Because the closest person to me is a mile away. Closest bar to me is 2 miles away. I know the owners of that bar.
All right. You guys have any other amazing stories? If not, we're going to shut it down.
Oh, one time there's this drunk guy in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yeah. There were all these drunk Wisconsinites.
The end.
one time everybody in Wisconsin was drunk.
Oh,
all right.
I was drunk.
Here's a question for everybody. How much does everybody?
Okay.
How much did you guys spend on your alcohol for your guys' weddings? Just ballpark figure.
Oh, I don't know.
None.
Which one?
0.
I don't.
Yeah, which one?
Not a whole lot. We didn't do a whole lot.
My wedding is going to cost me about $1,600 to $1,700 on alcohol in June.
That's probably on the low side.
Yeah.
Well, it's all PBR.
No, we're doing it cheap. We're going to Costco and buying bottles of everything.
Probably since he's up there in Wisconsin, it's probably Huber.
I say that'll buy a whole case of Natty Light. Shit.
Probably Huber. Milwaukee's Beast.
Michelob.
Old Natty Daddy.
Yeah, 1,200 is about where I'm at right now, and that's not even with everything, so I'm kind of scared to see what the final bill is. And mind you, I set a $10,000 limit on our wedding, so we're at about $5,000 right now, and I know she wants more alcohol there for family and friends are big drinkers. It's like, holy fuck. I'm going to spend more on alcohol than I did on your wedding ring, more than I did on the venue.
BYOB.
See, I spent more on my bachelor party after I was married twice. Does that count?
I think that's a divorce party, isn't it, Patriot?
Yeah.
No, it's a bachelor party because I was a bachelor again. You always have to have one extra.
Did you see what Juice says? He could do a wedding in Kiefer, Oklahoma for $1,200 and a pig. Is that $1,200 to buy the pig? That's what I'm wondering.
Well,
Hashtag
now
porky
that's
piggin'.
piggin'. Are we talking about a cooked pig or a live pig? There's a.
I'm just wondering if Mrs. Snob paid $1,200 for that one she got.
That was fucked up.
All right. Hashtag Thunder Pig. Wow. I don't even know what that means. I'm not sure who that's supposed to offend.
Doesn't matter. It's still funny.
Two men enter, one
Funny,
man
the
leaves.
cop
Thunder
put it out
Pig. That is okay. So
I'll tell you the story behind it when we're off air.
All right, let's we'll wrap it up.
Here's what we got to do is get Sarge, you got to buy an old Crown Victoria, get a big decal on the side that says Thunder Pig. and then wear a hockey mask like the dude in Road Warrior, like the big dude.
Oh.
Thunder Pig.
No, do like an Instagram thing when he's on his way to Wanamaker or wherever with Ellis and everybody. Just have the Thunder Pig on there and do it on Instagram with their map feature. Track the Thunder Pig.
There you go.
You see it going up like all over the country. Just where's Thunder Pig today? What's Thunder Pig eating today? And be holding up like a snowball, drinking a Mountain Dew. What's Thunder Pig eating today? It'd be awesome. The pig's free gift. The pig is the dowry. Basically, the pig is gifted from the bride's family. Okay, that's nice. Master Blaster, man, Master, you are Blaster. That's ghosting. That's like Ghost and Clover could be Master Blaster. They can stand on each other's shoulders.
Master Blast sounds like
that way That way I can look them in the eye. Thunder Pig, man.
Master Blaster sounds like something that whoever's going to SHOT Show this year is going to be getting at one of the ranches.
You got to have somebody's got to get on the Thunder. Sarge, you got to head on Thunder Pig or Thunder Pig account. Get yourself a.
I can't do it because Angelina's already bought thunderpig.com.
Yep.
Probably.
Oh, we've been talking.
Buy things from thunderpig.com.
Probably. That's where when you guys go out to SHOT Show, that's where Sarge is going to be stopping in Reno, right beside the Bunny Ranch. There's the Thunder Pig Ranch. He'll be stopping. He'll be swinging in there.
She bought thunderpig.com and started Alan Thunderpig on Instagram.
Seven Wonders says he was the Master Blaster last time he ate at Bojangles. Oh man, I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Really don't. I don't blame you. Waffle House is going to be nuts.
I'm not
on
going
New Year's
to.
Eve.
I'm not going.
Yep, I agree. I'm not going either.
Good for you.
Screw work.
Me
Screw
either.
Just wear your buttered soles.
Man.
Just slide right on in there, man.
New
I
Year's
think I'm
Eve
going to
is
start EDC. I think I'm going to start EDCing resumes that I get every week to start replacing employees. Sounds like a good everyday carry item.
Yeah.
What do you guys have? Job applications on a roll where they can just peel off 2 or 3 of them?
No, they're pre-filled out.
Just sign your
Are
ex here.
you
Just sign here.
Check yes or no.
5 days later, you're fired.
I told the owner I'm gonna buy one. You know, like those clear slots that sometimes are on churches where you can get pamphlets if you miss the service or whatever. I'm just gonna buy one of those and drill it onto the fucking outside of the building before I leave, and just fill it with job applications. So people walking by, walking their dogs, probably pissed drunk, or walking back from the square where we have 5 bars on, so they can just grab one on their way home, maybe when they're sober.
Just pick up the people at the bus station. Just drive by there. You pick them
now,
up.
do you have in your employee handbook like a set time frame they have to stop drinking before they report to work? Because I worked at a place that had that, and I thought it was odd.
It's 5 hours where I work, but
it was 8 at one place where I worked, and I thought it was odd that they had to write that down until I saw the people I was working with.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to have that in the handbook.
It's not a bad idea.
I got to take note of that. Put it in our damn handbook.
I've been working since I was 12 years old. I started delivering papers. The only job, I shit you not, that I have not had that as a rule in an employee handbook is when I was a security contractor. That's the only company. The fucking newspaper company had it in their employee handbook.
That's because it's in Wisconsin.
I mean, for us all being drunk constantly, I mean, we do put out some decent products, but a good portion of it is fucking beer.
Did they have
that's what I was going to say
at your high school?
A lot of it is beer.
There's a bar right next
you
door.
eat when you're drunk. So people never notice that you fucked it up.
And say, did you have beer breaks in high school?
I don't know what you're talking about because I
beer in the cafeteria.
I worked in Madison and it was dry after 8 o'clock on Sunday. I don't know. I was down by Wolf Appliance.
Yeah, Madison was one of the weird ones where it was still a dry city for a little while, but nope, now you can drink whenever you want.
So they told me, you gotta drive down there and drive to the next wherever it was. But, yeah, I worked there for a couple weeks.
Yeah, Madison's actually the really weird one. So if you look at the map on how most of the counties break down, or most of the cities break down when it comes to political, they are like the big blue spot that's surrounded by everything red. So they're the little weird ones out of the country, or out of the state.
Oh, you know what? I have something to talk about really quick about like gun rights and stuff. Just like a quick 30-second, whatever. So, as you guys know, NRA and the bump stock thing, a lot of people are into
the who?
I'm sorry, the NRA. NRA and the bump stock thing. So a couple companies actually have pulled the deposit for their booth for the NRA show in April and donated that to the Firearms Policy Coalition and I think Gun Owners of America, or part and part, or something like that. Anyway, a business called Rocket City Stippling is holding a raffle with a bunch of prizes, and the money from the raffle goes to Firearms Policy Coalition. So if you guys are interested in getting in on that, or you know someone, or is someone listening, go through. I think it's like $10 a ticket, and there's some good prizes in there. So check it out, and help get some money behind those two organizations for lawsuits that are taking our gun rights back.
I want to know which companies pulled their booths and stuff and donated the money, because I would be more than happy to buy from those companies.
It is Blue Alpha Gear is definitely one, and I think the other one is like Colt something, maybe. Not Colt. I don't know. So,
all right, I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, if you go to Blue Alpha Gear, they'll say it's whoever they were sharing a booth with. And I mean, maybe some people think, well, what's the big deal about that? I mean, they basically pulled out of going to the show because they don't agree with the NRA stance or the NRA's stance. And they donated the money they would be giving them for their booth to Firearms Policy Coalition, and I believe Gun Owners of America.
Hey, put your money where your mouth is, and that's the big thing that sometimes goes unheeded in this industry. So glad to see some companies are willing to do that.
Who's doing the
second
raffle?
company is Coltac. If you go to Rocket City Stippling on Instagram,
okay,
I think they're facilitating it, so you can get in on it there.
Well, good job.
Yeah, that's pretty nice of them. So, yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it because, yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm glad to see some companies are willing to do that. I hate to say it, but if the NRA is not going to stand up for it, I'm glad to see some companies are willing to put their money towards that rather than maybe promote their business a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're against NRA now and you hate them and whatever, I mean, then that can be your motivation for going in on the raffle. And if you, still stand beside or next to or whatever NRA a little bit and just think, you guys fucked up, get in on the raffle anyway, because Gun Owners of America and FPC are actually, they got lawsuits filed, and Firearms Policy Coalition is constantly filing lawsuits, and they do a lot of stuff for California, which I like, obviously.
Is it helping? In California.
So, you know what? I think there was one that didn't catch on, maybe because of them, but they're really trying. They put a lot of time, they put a lot of effort, they put a lot of money, and and the people out there who are like, well, fuck California, just let them fall into the ocean. What happens here will happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
So we all need to fight for California.
I'm a member.
Yeah, it should never be fuck somebody else or fuck a certain place.
Yeah.
It should be, well, if we're saying fuck them, well, then we're essentially saying fuck us, because I hate to say it, but California's used for a precedent for a lot of laws that are put in federally and across the country. So, and same thing with New York, your high population areas.
Yeah, and I mean, while, California, New York, Chicago, they got shitty gun laws, and it's easy to just say, fuck those places. What happens there will happen to you. So it's really important that we get behind these organizations that are fighting for our rights. And so, yeah, I mean, even if you hate the NRA, if you don't hate the NRA, support these other organizations too, because it's important.
And FPC does call to actions too with their emails.
Yeah, they do. They do really good emails, really good information in their emails as well. Yeah, I mean, they're great. They're really great for California.
And if you get on it early last year, you could have got one of their patches too.
Hey, I thought I read something. Isn't Tim from Military Arms Channel part of that lawsuit as well? Forget where I read that.
What?
Yeah. About the bump stocks.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought Tim from Military Arms Channel was part of that lawsuit as well.
He is with GOA. GOA.
Okay.
GOA.
How do you get involved with that? Like, is it just like what they call a class action, where if you own one, you can get in on it or something like that?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's being filed as, is a class action lawsuit. So, yeah, I think that, I don't know the specifics on it, but I know it's being filed as a class action. I know the three that were listed were Gun Owners of America, Tim, and my brain's farting, the one that Angelina was just talking about. I know those were the three major names that I saw in the latest article that I read. But I'm assuming that if they're filing as a class action lawsuit, at some point there's going to be posts and stuff saying if you own a bump stock, which I do, you can start putting your name and information into the system, and you'll technically be a part of that. The other thing is even if you don't own that or whatever, even if you don't want to join any of these raffles, go donate $5-10 to Gun Owners of America, to the Firearms Coalition. Do all of that, because if you don't want to necessarily don't buy for a raffle for that company, or try finding a different way to get involved in it, just donate some money. It helps out. GOA doesn't make a lot to really put up a huge fight. They're not like the ILA. They don't have as many membership dues as what the ILA does, but at the same time, they need the money, and you can always help them out.
Yeah. Okay.
And besides, it's cool when you can pull out all those cards out of your wallet. Makes me look like I'm rich.
I still haven't gotten anything in the mail from GOA, and that was weeks ago that I joined there.
Goa.
They take kind of a while.
Yeah, I've heard that.
See, the thing I like about the GOA is that they have a public stance, and you'll hear them repeat it all the time. They're literally working to work themselves out of a job, not to keep having to fight, not to keep having to take money. They're working to work themselves out of a job. That's why I like putting my money behind them.
And if you sign up for their free alerts, their email alerts, you can use those generic email forms over and over and over. So if you get one that says it's sending it to the president, you can just go back and then blow away all their, their whatever they put in there automatically. And you can send an email every single day. You just put it in a folder, and it takes 2 seconds to fill it out, and so no excuse.
G's saying the GOA has a membership of over 1.5 million. I wonder what the NRA is right now. I'm sure they've.
True, what they're actually publishing.
Well, that and yeah, that's what I mean. Like compared to, this time last year or a year and a half ago, it's got to be hurting.
I know they said they had a $55 million revenue shortage from last year. That's why they had to lay off a bunch of the NRA TV staff, and they shut down a lot of their shows and stuff like that. That's why Hammond Company hasn't done any episodes since Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that. And I'm not necessarily glad that the NRA is not getting their money, but at the same time, I'm glad to see that there's definitely a correlation between the NRA losing membership, but the GOA increasing in membership. So I'm glad to see that.
Don't forget about your state organizations too. I mean, like Michigan, we've got the MCGRO, Michigan Coalition of Responsible Gun Owners, and Michigan Open Carry. Every state's got them. Just check them out. Make sure that they're, on the up and up. That doesn't take much time. Don't be lazy.
I mean, and just as an example, a lot of people don't really look at it this way, but the group knife rights in Wisconsin, you used to not be able to carry any switchblades. You had a legal length limit, everything like that. They fought the same way that the GOA is fighting right now for us to be able to do that. And I think it was last year or the year before, pretty much every knife law was flipped around. The only thing that was added on there is if you can't own a firearm, you can't carry a knife in public. But they fought for the rights, and it took people actually getting behind them. It needs to be the same thing for the gun rights, or else it's going to be the same thing. We're going to stay with these shitty laws, or having more shitty laws put onto the books instead of actually getting behind people fighting when that's what you really need to be doing.
Yeah, geez, throwing a bunch of stuff up in the gun channels chat here. So he's never heard of the GOA ask for money.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I don't get 5,000 pieces of mail sent to me every year or even every month
They do
from
a
the
lot
GOA.
of emails, but
Man, I'll tell you what, yeah.
They're
But the
always
emails
asking
are
for money. NRA
the
is.
emails are fine for me from GOA. What my big point is you guys are pissing away a lot of money sending out actual physical printed sheets of paper to ask for money. Instead of asking for money, why don't you just not piss away the time and money of sending all these letters out? Why don't you actually get off your ass and spend the money on something that's going to make a difference?
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, too. Yeah, the NRA sends a ton of stuff out, man. And a lot of the stuff that they send is not just like small, single letter type things. You know what I mean?
I just stuff it back in the envelope and send it back. It's postpaid, so.
Oh, that's true.
I send them.
Yeah, so you're screwing them twice. That's not nice.
That is not nice. I would not do that officially.
Well, I would keep sending it back, and every time I'd stuff a letter in the envelope saying, spend your money more wisely.
No, I send advertisements to the GOA and send it to them. FPC. Gotta be an advocate.
Horrible person.
Not an abacus.
Yeah, an abacus.
Yeah.
Abacus.
Which they still have classes and training at college for running abacuses.
Well,
or is it abaci? I don't know. Abacus.
I mean, when the apocalypse hits and there are no calculators, and you'll be okay then.
Actually, they're a lot faster, and I know a lot of blind guys that use abacuses in there. I don't know how to say it multiple, plural, abacus, abaci.
G saying, did the GOA not just say that they recently had 50,000 new members? I don't know. I haven't heard that. That's awesome. Put extra stuff in the envelope and they'll get charged for being overweight. He does. Pomade says, I do it to credit card company. Pomade's mailing chunks of lead back to people just to screw them over.
You get the newspapers, the little local flyers, and you just shred them up. But you got to be careful; it doesn't have your address on it. You don't want it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I hear.
Said I'm bringing the bastards down one envelope at a time. Geez, saying ever seen a Second Amendment Foundation ask for money? I don't know much about the Second Amendment Foundation, actually.
They send letters, with the yellow cards and stuff, but I have a hard time with those. I have to have some assistance because I got a really small line to sign on. And that's
those have to
a couple of emails once in a while, but not as much as FPC.
The Second Amendment Foundation, those are the guys, they seem to be the guys that tend to work more in the background. You definitely don't hear about them as often as you do GOA, NRA, and some of the larger groups.
Well, the Second Amendment Foundation, they do a lot of the actual lawsuits, right? Don't they file a lot of the lawsuits? That seems to be where I hear them the most.
Yeah, that's
Washington
state level. Seem like.
I don't know. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, they randomly send some kind of mailings, but not as much emails for sure.
G says Miller versus Chicago. And Heller. Heller is I guess that's why I've heard about him the most was that. YP says the Second Amendment Foundation has barely sent me any mail. Their lifetime packet's quite a bit of swag too.
Because I like those yellow cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're yellow. I don't know what color they are. They say they were yellow.
They smell yellow?
They feel yellow. They're really
they feel yellow.
They feel yellow. Mellow yellow.
just got to remember to send the right side in. Because they're like, they got a strip on the other side.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But it's easy to reuse those GOA things. It's really important, especially for the lazy people out there that don't like to do anything. You just hit a button, it autofills. You know, you check the checkbox, it keeps your information in there, and then you just put in your email or your body and your title. That's done. Multiple people.
Well, I am winding down here. I got to get up in the morning. I got to go pay my. I didn't realize until today, but till like I was sitting here doing this stuff. I got to pay my personal taxes tomorrow before work. But there's money I don't have. Got to go back to the government, the state governments. I guess it's the state government. I don't know. Yeah, it blows. So that's one more thing I got to do before work tomorrow. So let's run it through. Do you guys have any closing parting gifts, parting words to wisdom? Snowy, what's going on with you?
Not too much.
After back with a vengeance, right?
Yeah, after January 1st, I will be coming back. I posted 2 videos today, kind of an update, letting people know what was going on with the YouTube channel and where things are going. And then one with an upload schedule. I'll have 2 videos minimum uploaded a week, and actually I'm going to be adding in a third. I'll be doing 1 live stream a week, and then Instagram's going to be getting daily posts as well. And kind of fun fact, this is the last time you guys will see this logo being used for any live streams or anything like that. It's being retired, and I'm going over to another one. The other thing that I will be continuing to work on is some people have been asking me about t-shirts and things like that. I'm going through trying to figure out Spreadshirt and some stuff like that to try getting a store up there. But other than that, just kind of stay tuned, and I'll have more for you guys in the future. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarge, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. I getting ready for SHOT Show. If anybody could and wants one, go over to my Etsy shop and buy a hat. That'll help me go. And after we were talking tonight, I think I'm going to make up a target for Ellis's challenge, where he said I couldn't hit a quarter, nickel, penny, and a dime with any one of my Glocks from 15 feet. So I think I'll make up a target that are all the correct size of a quarter, nickel, penny, and a dime, and we'll see if anybody can do that.
Make them all a little bit smaller just to rub it in.
15 feet,
yeah.
15 yards.
15 feet.
Seriously?
Shoot a dime at 15 feet. See how well you do.
Shouldn't be that hard to do.
Okay. I mean, I didn't say it. Well, I mean, I am going to say it is.
How many shots do I get at?
1 for each one. You get 4 shots total.
Well, if I stack one on top of the other, I just need one.
That's not the way they're going to be on the target.
They're going to be side by side. You get 4 shots at one.
That's a good one.
Got him.
I think you should use real ones and then send them to them with the holes in them.
No, because some yahoo will be like, "Oh, you deface U.S. currency." Ooh.
That's not true. Not
That's exactly what someone will say.
Pass it off as valid currency afterwards.
Tell them to eat a dick. I was gonna say I didn't think that was illegal. I thought it's if you melt them down and try selling them for the materials. That's illegal, but I didn't think defacing them or shooting them would be.
It's not.
Oh, you violated U.S. Code 60s, whatever.
That's about like tear the tag off your mattress, for God's sake.
It doesn't matter what you do. If you put it on the internet, somebody's going to say something.
Yep.
So that's what I'm going to do that this week. That'll be a fun thing to do. Just to rub it in.
Just to shoot.
We'll call it the outfield challenge.
Outhouse.
Or the outhouse challenge.
shooting up the outhouse.
Hashtag Porky Piggin.
There you go.
I gotta find some more precision shooters.
Yeah.
I have a couple challenges I'd like to do with that, but
Patriot, what's going
on? I finished my daughter's closet, so I got the shelves up. So I was doing that earlier today, but really not much. I'm looking forward to a new year and gonna go out and try to, shake the bushes and get all the blind people I know, visually impaired people out shooting. There's a lot of them out there anyways, but gonna maybe get it a little bit more public. Scare you guys and straighten you guys up a little bit. Do some videos here and there, and another challenge coming up. If you guys can handle it with those huge prize packs, so maybe I'll cut it back and give out more or something. I don't know. Still
what do we have to do now? What do we have to do now?
Oh, are you gonna put me on the spot right now?
Yeah.
No, I do have the history challenge. If there's a date in history and your kids don't know about it, or their school doesn't know about it, tell them about it. Tell them why it's important, and then question them and see if their school told them anything. And write to school and tell them they're a bunch of jerk-offs, or be polite. But
I don't know. My kid's pretty little. I just had to teach him not to put the bubble bath in his mouth tonight. So I don't think he's quite ready for history yet.
That history.
Sure he is.
My daughter, before she went to preschool, knew, Chuck Yeager, Chuck, and Emily Earhart, and all of them. I mean, she had trouble with Buzz Lightyear being with John Glenn, or John Glenn, but it wasn't Buzz Lightyear. But anyway, that's an extra credit if you know the answer to that one. But so yeah, just check me out, Patriot in the Dark. I'm on gun channels. I got the Dark Side is my channel over there. I haven't done much with it, but maybe I'll even jump out there like David Bowling and do some hangouts. But maybe I'll wait until Gunstreamer does it. I'm over there too. Patriot in the Dark. Find me everywhere. Instagram. I know the Twitters. All of them.
The Twitters is you Twitter-pated.
I've got 3 Twitters. I've got the Patriot _ITD, which is my main one. Then I got Early Watch Michigan, Early Watch MI. And then I got the Patriot in the Dark, but that's my B channel because that was my original stuff with blind guys.
Right.
But anyway, then you can always find me here.
Very cool.
See, I was trying to stretch it out as long as I could. This was the long chat. You give the mic to somebody, and you're supposed to talk as long as I can.
Till you out of breath, till you turn purple and pass out.
And that's it. So Happy New Year. I'm glad this was the last one of the year, possibly.
That's mean.
Cookie and play it at New Year's Eve tomorrow. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely, always. Can't have a chat without you.
And
Grim.
Go to gear websites.
Yeah, go buy some fun stuff from G.
Yep.
Start out. wait till you can get some stuff tomorrow, and then buy a little bit more a couple hours later, and you be the last person to buy stuff and the first person to buy stuff at gear websites of the years.
And shirts.
And shirts and such. Grim, what's going on?
Not too much at all. Just since we got on that topic, everybody out there try and do a little something for the 2A community. Everybody in the panel here, everybody else there is doing videos or something, or take a shooter out, write letters. Like Patriot says, it's not hard just to put your name and then send those pre-filled ones out through email, which takes about 30 seconds at best. I mean, just keep pushing, because we keep, Angelina said it earlier, if we just say screw Chicago, which I'd love to, which I do, but not really. I mean,
Chicago is fabulous.
It is. It's tough. That's why Obnoxious. He's gone now.
Yeah, he took off.
That's why he literally left to the East Coast. But no, just everybody stay active in the way they can. I mean, the best way you can stay active, you know, that's like even you having the chat here. So
yeah,
that's about it.
Hey, Bruce. Gizwa, what do you got? About another 2 months of vacation here or what?
Oh, yeah. I think I'll go back to work around spring. Yeah.
Gizzard has had off in the past couple weeks. Fucking Gary has had off more than I have in the past 2 years. And that's not a lie. That's some bullshit.
He's waiting for the chicks to hatch in the spring. That's why.
Oh.
And I got paid for all of it, too.
Yep.
I know that you're lucky I don't live in fucking Kansas. I'd come over your house and punch you in the mouth. Son of a bitch. Miserable bastard.
Oh, bite me. Anyway. Wow. It's been a hell of a year.
I know it, right?
We've had our hands full. We'll have our hands full even more next year. Let's get through these holidays, get geared up, ready for a fight in 2019. Thanks to everybody who's watched your stuff, my stuff, and all our stuff. And everybody who's got sorry enough life that they've stayed up this late to listen to this shit.
Yeah, miserable. Sad bastards.
In all sincerity, great show. Thanks for having me. Check out my website, gizzardgary.com. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody on this panel, especially Midnight Range TM. Visit Gun Channels, Gun Streamer, and GunTube.org, and give them the bird.
Mm-hmm. Gary always has good closing messages, good closing notes.
Well, it's the closer, you know. I'm closing the.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if you're going to do it, you don't have to do anything good here. We're just, you know, this is the end.
I could do it. Shall not be infringed, but I'm not Night Strike. So.
Hey, Midnight, how long were you on your knees to get him to praise you that much?
You know what, though? Gary's such a little dude. Even if I was on my knees, I would just be staring him at his chin, probably. These little fellas. This place is packed full of little fellas, man. You just can't swing a dead cat without hitting a little dude.
Yeah,
somebody under 5 foot tall.
You're so close to the sun, the UV ray done singed off the hair on top of you.
I know. Melted it off.
Melted him.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're more bald than me and Obnoxious put together.
That's his patch panel. Leave him alone.
He's just trying to be like Obnoxious One.
Yep. Yeah, I'd grow the beard out, but then I have to wear a goddamn beard net at work, and that just sucks.
Midnight, did you have the plunger on your head? Pull it off?
the pewter, what was it? The pewter plunger?
No, the platinum plunger. There you go.
The platinum plunger. Yeah, the platinum plunger.
Pulled it all off.
You know what we got to do is get. We got to get a plunger, one of the short ones. You know, they make the little short, stubby ones.
Yeah.
Spray paint it. You got to spray paint it silver.
Orange.
Silver, and then get a little orange like mask, like the eye, you know, just the eye mask, and Obnoxious can be the platinum plunger for a superhero.
If you make one of those platinum plungers, I will take it out and stick it on a dummy 1,000 yards out and shoot it off the dummy's head.
Well, I mean, that's what we need to do. That's what we should do next week. Is the first show of 2019. We should come in and give as many people and gun channels that we can think of superhero names and themes.
Yeah, but someone's got to write a story to accompany it.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's I can do that. It'll take me a little while. I'm busy. You know, it'll take me a long time to write, you know, a longer story, but I can work on it. We come up with the characters, and we'll figure something out. Either that, or we can consolidate one, and everybody that is involved has to write their own little part to it.
I'd be down.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. So think about it. We'll do a superhero chat next week, but instead of like one of Matt's chats where they just talk about superhero movies and shit, we'll actually make up our own. I bet you G will be down. He likes to write. He likes to do cartoons and stuff. He'd probably you could probably do a cartoon for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Start with the plunger.
There you go, the plunger. Yeah, and his sidekick, the Mad Crapper.
Oh, there you
It'll be good. Now we just got to figure out C4. I think it's C4 is the Mad Crapper. It can be the.
I thought he was Thunder Pig.
Yeah, Thunder Pig. There you go.
Yeah. I thought Thunder Pig was going down to Tulsa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thunder
Yeah,
Pig.
he's stopping it.
Beep.
Yeah.
Here he is.
There's what is it? Is it the second?
Next time you're in a
Smoking
chat,
the Bandit?
Thunder Pig ask Boomer about Thunder Pig. He'll know.
What'd you say?
I said next time you're in a chat, just ask Boomer about Thunder Pig. He'll know.
Okay. And Angelina, what's up?
Not a whole lot is up. Just selling things.
And stuff.
Sorry. What the fuck? I'll remember that. Women are vengeful. But yeah. That's about it. Buy things from anchor.com.
The wife says Thunder Pig sounds dirty. That's why C4 is stopping there. That's why C4 is stopping there.
And don't forget about porkypiggin.com.
That's true. All right. Let's call it a night. Yeah, check out Gun Channels, Gun Streamer, the YouTubes is. Check out Instagram. And at the beginning of the show we did that shout out to the unprofessional chef. Check out you can go back in the chat, whatever. But it's on YouTube. Check him out. Go over, say hi. Let's see if we can get him over in Gun Channels. It seems like kind of a fun dude.
We over doubled that fucker's subscribers.
Well, I think he had 7 subscribers when I first went over there, and I was like number 8 or something like that. So,
he was at 20 the last I looked.
I'm sure he'll notice. So, yeah, he seems like a fun dude. So, might be get him on the show or something maybe one of these days and see what he's all about. If he exclusively hangs out on Yankees channel, though, I'm a little bit apprehensive, but we'll see. We won't hold that against him quite just quite yet. So
just yet.
Yeah. But that's it. I'll see you guys next week, and get a hold of me if you need anything. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Be safe.